And today from Fenway, the Sox can sweep the Tampa Bay Rays. It's the series finale as the Red Sox go for 5 in a row. Boston up 4.5 heading into the game as we come down the stretch. Welcome back to Fenway, everybody. Great to have you with us on this Sunday. I'm Dave O'Brien, delighted to be joined by Dennis Eckersley and Jerry Remy. Garen Austin joining us in just a couple of moments. The Sox got a bit of a scare last night in the victory in that Eduardo Nunez went out with a knee contusion. Jerry, does not appear to be a very big deal. He should be back in the lineup shortly, but Xander Bogaerts popped in there, and he did a great job.
Yeah, you know, you never know what's going to happen in the course of a ball game. Bogaerts was supposed to have the night off, and of course, most of the year he's been struggling. But last night he comes into the game for Nunez, and he gets a little double down the third base line. You never know in this game what's going to get you going. Later on in the ball game, another base hit for Bogaerts, and he also hit a line drive to center field that if it wasn't for Kiermaier, that would have been his third hit. Defensively, great play, jump throw to first base. Nice play by Moreland on the other end. So, you know, when you look at players, I mean, even though it's late in the season, you just don't know what's going to get them going. And sometimes a little infield hit like that can do it for a guy like Bogaerts. Today, he's facing Cobb. He's 5 for 11, and he's in the leadoff spot against Cobb.
We'll see how that works out today. Rick Porcello is on the mound deck, and he's a guy who's had a very strange season, but when he's kept the ball in the ballpark, he's done pretty well.
You said it. It really has been a strange season, you know, starting with not getting the run support that he got last year. And you see what he's done the last couple times against the Rays. I mean, 1-1. The home runs are always there. He lost one of those games 1-0. So the last 2 times out have been good, but the last time out, you know, against Toronto, he didn't throw very good. Gave up 3 home runs. So he needs to redeem himself. But once again, the stuff is there. He can always dial up a good game. In fact, he won 5 games in August, you know, and for him to get his confidence back, he's always one start away from that, and he should take advantage of this Tampa Bay team, and they should sweep them and go forward.
All right, Red Sox going for 3 consecutive wins over the weekend, and of course, Tampa Bay, the players and the coaching staff, they're playing with a lot of concern about friends and family and Hurricane Irma back in their hometown. A lot of the Bruins are out today trying to help that effort. We'll have more on that story when we come back to Fenway Park. Toyota's website for deals, buyatoyota.com. Digital Federal Credit Union, see what DCU can save you. Lexus and Alexa Strikes Out Hunger program. Dunkin' Donuts, America runs on Dunkin'. Spartan Race, use promo code NESSON for 20% off at Spartan.com. And by Southwest, yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. Rick Porcello taking the mound here, 9-16, an ERA of 4.67. Here's the Rays lineup he'll face. Brought to you by your New England Chevy dealers. Kevin Kiermaier to lead it off. Lucas Dudas at first. Then Longoria, Morrison, and Dickerson. Echeverria, the shortstop, with Brad Miller at second base. Ramos does the catching, and Malik Smith is in right field. And batting ninth against Rick Porcello, hit hard in his last start.
The Red Sox starting pitcher is presented by your New England Audi dealers. You said Rick Porcello last time out did not throw the ball very good against Toronto. Gave up 3 home runs. He's trying to get out of that home run thing, but he's pitched well against Tampa the last couple of times out, and you know he's always a start away from being on time.
Here are the umpires today, brought to you by Toyota's website for deals, buyatoyota.com. Brian Onora on the plate, Paul Emmel, Scott Barry, and Quinn Walcott on the bases. And we're available as telecast can be heard in Spanish by selecting the SAP button on your TV remote. SAP presented by Toyota. Visit compra2toyota.com to see Toyota deals not seen on TV.
Buenas tardes, amigos.
Underway in the swing and a miss by Kiermaier. 279 hitter with 11 home runs. Red Sox with a big win yesterday, winning last night, really inside the first 3 innings and cruising the rest of the ball game. A breaking ball right there in the knee is Bogarts to gun over. 1 gone.
It's Junior Announcer Day. Here's Cameron from Agawam with the Red Sox defense, brought to you by Southwest Airlines.
Thanks, Mr. Ramirez. Here's today's Red Sox defense. Rafael Devers is at third. Xander Bogaerts is at shortstop. Brock Holt is at second. And at first is Sam Travels. And Andrew Benintendi is at left field. Jackie Bradley Jr. is in center. Mookie Betts is in right field. And Chris Vatajags is at the catching for Rick Porcello. Good?
Good. Good job. Thank you, Cam.
Better than I could do it. I'm telling you.
Lucas Duda here, 193, but with power. Former New York Met. Be followed by Evan Longoria as we just get started. A little bit cloudy. And zipped in there for a strike at 89.
That's a good spot to be right there for Porcello. That fastball right at the bottom of the strike zone. That'll induce some ground ball outs.
And a 2-1. Popped him up. Into center field. And coming in, Jackie Bradley. 2 up and 2 down. It's such a big deal for Porcello to get out of the first inning unscathed.
I was going to say that, and especially the last couple nights, you get out of the first inning and you come back out the second inning and you're going to be winning. And I think that's what the Red Sox have been doing. That's the formula: score early and hang on, and then they've blown them out the last 2 nights.
Yeah, there's nothing more demoralizing as an opposition club to be down so early in a ball game like that, and by big time numbers.
That's why starting pitching sets the whole tone.
Longoria 266. He's homered 18 times. And a ground ball to Brock Holt, manning second. That's a great start for Rick Porcello. A couple of ground outs as well. Nice early trend. Red Sox coming up in the first inning. for Announcer Day. Here's Nick from Agawam with the Red Sox lineup, brought to you by Toyota's website for deals, buyatoyota.com.
Thanks, Mr. O'Brien. Here's today's Red Sox lineup. Leading off at short is Xander Bogaerts. In left, Andrew Benintendi. In right field, Mookie Betts. The DH, Mitch Moreland. At third, Rafael Devers. The catcher, Christian Vasquez. At second, Brock Holt. At first base, Sam Travis. In center, Jackie Bradley Jr.
Nick, thank you, buddy. Xander Bogaerts, 268 with 8 home runs, leading off today. Entered last night's game and went 2 for 3 and scored a couple of runs. Also made a dynamite defensive play. The Red Sox did not miss a beat when Nunez went out with that knee contusion.
Yeah, we kind of talked about it, Dave, in the open. The fact that, you don't know what's going to get a guy started. And sometime a little dribble down that third base line might do it. Bogaerts is hoping so.
And a wave and a miss. Down he goes. It'll be Ramos to collect and get him to complete the strikeout.
Well, I tell you, Alex Cobb, you see the punch out right there. When they talk about an ace of a staff, they think of Archer, but I think of Cobb. I really do. And he's been, hasn't pitched real well on the road, but his last 14 starts, this guy's got like a 2.9. And he's had Tommy John surgery a couple of years ago, and he's finally getting it together.
Born right here in Boston. Moved to Florida as a toddler. He's always pitched well at Fenway. 4-1 here in 6 career starts. And here's Benintendi.
You can't forget that leg kick. It's very unique. And I think Cobb, I think changeup. But then again, he's got that curveball too.
Yeah, recently he's been throwing more curveballs than changeups, which is unusual for Cobb.
You always notice those stylish leg kicks.
Yeah.
You love those.
It's like Arroyo had that leg kick.
Yeah, Eck had the leg kick too.
Yeah.
Swing it.
Yeah. Can't hold any runners on, but it looks good.
It's a bit of a lost art, isn't it?
Isn't it?
Hammered but fouled by Benintendi.
I mean, he just puts a little of it. I mean, do you have to hang around that long? You know what I mean? You just gather. You're trying to gather to get that fastball, to get something behind your fastball. But for me, it's a deception, definitely.
Yeah, the longer you got to hang out in that batter's box and wait for the pitch to come in, you get a little more tense. There's that curveball again, and as we mentioned, usually by now you probably, out of the pitches you've seen so far, half of them would have been changeups. Haven't seen a changeup yet.
It's 3-1. You might see one here. Typically think of that as a fastball count, but
not in this league.
Betts on deck. Lights are on at Fenway. And a 3-1 from Cobb. With a fastball and popped out of play.
Jerry, you think it'd be hard to time him. It's, like you're looking fastball right there, but you got to wait. You just got to wait for his fastball.
That's what I was talking about. The hitters want to be as relaxed as possible. And what happens at times when you're in there and you have a guy like this that has that high leg kick, you tense up a little bit waiting for the pitch to come in. And that's not a feeling you want to have.
Benintendi 1 for 9 lifetime against this right-hander.
I mean, it's like that average fastball gets on you.
You got to respect his changeup and his curveball so much that the fastball at 93 looks harder than that. That time he got it in on Benintendi, pretty good. Fastball inside part of the plate, but really tied him up at about the hands.
As quick as he is, too, Benny.
He's been locked in against Tampa Bay. 10 for his last 19 against their pitching staff.
And there's one that fool me. That's a good foul ball by Benintendi right there. 3-2 count. Throws the curveball to the outside part of the plate, and I'm going, oh no.
You can easily swing through this.
No problem at all, or just take it on the outside corner for strike 3, but he's able to foul it off, and he has himself another chance. There are such things as good foul balls.
Wade Boggs had good foul balls.
2 strikes were unbelievable.
Ridiculous.
And a payoff pitch. He got him. Came back with that heater, and he struck him out.
Let's take a look at the Rays defense. They're 11th in the league with 88 errors on the season. Evan Longoria will be at third base. Didi Echeverria will be the shortstop. Brad Miller at second, and Lucas Duda, the first baseman. Left to right, Corey Dickerson, Kevin Kiermaier, and Alex Smith. And Wilson Ramos doing the catching for Cobb.
And for the Sox today, different looking lineup. Eduardo Nunez, Dustin Pedroia, Hanley Ramirez are all out. If you look at Kevin Cash, the manager of the Rays, Mookie Betts in there looking at a strike. Cash admitted yesterday that it's been very tough for his team and his coaching staff to focus on the games. He said, we're watching the Weather Channel. We're not watching baseball right now. Can't blame any of them for that. So much concern about their community, what could happen. We're going to have updates throughout our broadcast from Fox 25, weather updates on Hurricane Irma. Mookie at 262 and 19 home runs and 81 driven in.
You know, Cobb threw a good ball game against the Red Sox way back in July. Probably at that time was probably the best pitch game against the Red Sox. Remember, he gave up only a couple hits. Took that game almost into the 9th inning. So they've had their troubles with him.
5-3 lifetime against the Red Sox. And his 1-2. Toward the middle, down to get it. Echeverria. He's a really slick shortstop, and that'll do it. Red Sox go 1-2-3. We're scoreless after 1 at Fenway. Toyota.com. Digital Federal Credit Union. See what DCU can save you. Lexus and the Lexus Strikes Out Hunger program. Dunkin' Donuts. America runs on Dunkin'. Spartan Race. Use promo code NESSON for 20% off at Spartan.com. And by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. On to the second inning. Jerry Remy, Dennis Eckersley, Dave O'Brien with you. And Garen Austin, too, as the Red Sox go for the sweep. And a 5-game winning streak today, with Rick Porcello on the bump, taking on Logan Morrison here.
You know, we've watched how Pfister has got it done. You know, he's been pitching so well, and you think about Porcello, he throws a little harder, I think, than Pfister, but you know, if he gets that curveball, I think it has a lot to do with him having a curveball against left-handed hitters. Obviously, he's around the plate all the time, doesn't walk guys.
The 35 home runs, you can't get away from it, but only 24 are solos. Thank goodness. I mean, that's how you pitch. I mean, you can get away with solos.
24, it's the high number of solo.
It still is. I understand, but
2-1.
it's the 3-run shots that'll kill you, and that's exactly what he did last time out. Morales got him on a hanging hook.
Yeah, real early. Hit hard in that last start. 10-4 loss to Toronto. Gave up 3 homers, 7 runs, 10 hits, and 5 1/3.
He's thrown about 4 or 5 fastballs, sinking fastballs that have had pretty good movement on it so far, moving away from the left-handed hitter into the right-handed hitter. And if he brings that one down just a little bit, that's probably going to be a swing and a ground ball out.
3-2. John Farrell was very succinct when he was asked the question the other day after Porcello started against Toronto. What's been the difference between the Cy Young Rick Porcello and this year? He said one word, that's location. He's been missing his spot, particularly with that sinker. When he keeps it down, he can still be very, very effective. But when he elevates, especially in this day and age of so many home run hitters, he gets himself in a lot of trouble.
Well, I think he tried to punch guys out sometimes. I really do. I mean,
I think he was doing it right there.
Right.
He elevated the fastball going for the swing and miss because, Morrison is a good low ball hitter. And he tried to elevate that fastball, and he did get a piece of it to foul it off.
– 3-2. And just off the plate, so he walked a. So a man on time now for our Xfinity X1 report. Let's go to Garen Austin.
Thanks, Obi. Well, Jerry, you were talking a little bit about Xander Bogaerts. I was actually talking with assistant hitting coach Victor Rodriguez the other day, and he said they're trying to put him in the right direction because when he's really out of whack, when his lower half is out of control, and they're trying to square him up. And Rodriguez said he looked like he was going to come out of this a couple of weeks ago, but young guys, they go in and out of what they do. And he said they're really not talking too much about mechanics, just trying to put him in the right direction with his lower half, and his mechanics and his hands will be in the right place. Guys?
That's interesting that, Victor and Chile are talking about the lower half, not so much about the hands, but there's been so much conversation about the hand injury.
I mean, he's very handsy anyway, don't you think? I mean,
yeah, he is. You know one of the problems that he has, and he's had this in the past too. And I remember doing a thing with Victor Rodriguez a year ago. It's a very good report by Garen. The fact that he a lot of times, because he has that leg kick that so many hitters have right now, it throws his timing off. And a lot of times now he'll use that leg kick and get out there too soon. And all that's left back is his hands to do the work. It's all going to be in sync.
yeah, there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
But we've seen him red hot. We've seen him for a couple of months where he hardly makes an out. So many of his hits, when that's the case, Jerry, go to right field.
Absolutely.
Yeah, little flick jobs.
Pile up a lot of hits doing that. We're not seeing very many of those. Big swing and a miss by Dickerson, a .282 hitter.
I think Dickerson has a hole in his bat. I really do. I said that before. This guy can swing and miss with the best one. That ball is middle. Little launch angle working there, huh?
And 26 home runs for Dickerson on the season. That's what he's thinking about.
Morrison on with a walk, nobody out.
I mean, he's the type of hitter, Jerry, that makes you think you've got a better fastball than you do. He'll swing through it a couple times. I'm thinking,
got a big swing.
Yeah, I'm throwing good today. You can set me up in a heartbeat with that swing.
Well, he has struck out 139 times. He does lead their club in hits, though, with 151. Long set and a 1-2. Down he goes.
Yeah, he's not even looking for something out there to, that's a very defensive swing right there with a couple of strikes on him. The fastball away. He's looking middle in all the time. And that right there, he's just hoping to make contact to foul that pitch off because he really had no chance of doing much with that at all.
I mean, he's definitely a 2017 hitter. That's classic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So Porcello collects his first K Echeverria, .240 with 4 home runs. You know, because they are the Tampa Bay Rays, they don't get a lot of publicity. A little tapper there. Bogarts will turn that into 2. Echeverria, a very good defender, but he grounds into the twin killing to retire the side. Presented by DeWalt FlexFold.
I love these because I was not involved. Yeah, just Bogarts going to the bag. It's right there. Take it yourself, make the throw, and leave the second baseman completely out of it. Perfect.
And you know what the rules these days, you're not going to get buried.
No, you're not going to get cleaned out at all.
DeWalt FlexFold, the official power tool of the Boston Red Sox. So Moreland to lead off the second, no score. Mitch 250, 18 homers. Coming off a really nice night as he drove in 3 runs. 8th time this year he's driven in at least 3. He'll be followed by Devers and then Vasquez here in the second against Cobb.
And 92 to me looks a little quicker than 92.
Yeah, that's sneaky. It is.
I think that the delivery has something to do with that.
It really does. Kind of jumps at you a little bit. Going in there again, 2-0.
Definitely playing the pull in the outfield, as you can see right there in the shift. This fastball up and away. That situation, Moreland probably looking for a ball middle in, something that he could pull and pull hard. But that ball just sailed on him, and
it's got to be exciting to get a 2-0 fastball every once in a while
and surprise you.
Around the outside edge, 3-1.
You almost have to think backwards.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Instead of those 2-0 fastballs, you got to almost look off speed on a 2-0 count now. Makes it much more difficult.
A good count for the Red Sox first baseman. Would not chase, and ball 4. So the Red Sox have their first base runner today.
Don't miss WB Mason Extra Innings live right after the game. TC Jim Rice and Lenny DiNardo will break down Rick Porcello's start. Whatever, whenever, wherever, who but WB Mason.
I'll send up Devers, hitting .308, 8 home runs. Rafael has been cooking over his last 3 games. hitting .583. He's had a nice homestand. He's really turned things around very quickly after a bit of a slump.
I see the different side of the stretch where Cobb does not use that high leg kick, at least not on every pitch, because if he did, the guys would be running wild on him. More of a slide step. I wouldn't call it a slide step, but closer to that than the high leg kick.
I mean, that's hard to do when then you're in the windup like that, and then you have to totally change. This guy totally changes. I had a hard time with that, changing. Trying to hurry up. Not so much slide step, but just hurry up. And you hurry up and try to throw a breaking ball, you'll hang it in a heartbeat.
Shows bunt, fouls it away.
Swing the bat. I think he was doing that on his own.
Had to be.
Here's that leg kick, as you can see, just almost sliding it along the dirt. So no real advantage there for the runner at first base.
And a good curveball he threw down, and he was bunting. I don't get it.
No, he had the third baseman way back, but that was. I'd rather see Devers swing the bat.
Every once in a while, that sun comes crashing through the clouds. Doing it right now. Here's the 0-2. Big swing. He does not get cheated.
7 for his last 12. He's swinging the bat very well.
That's why I didn't understand the bunt.
Yeah. Trying to get sneaky.
The tricksters out here.
Moreland aboard at first. No score in the second. And the 0-2. To the second baseman Miller, and he bobbles it, has a play at first and gets him. Down to second moves Moreland.
Well, he wanted to go to second base with that, and of course it bounced right out of the glove. Fortunately for Miller, it bounces right into his throwing hand. Anywhere else, and Devers is going to beat that. You can see the ball come up, hit the heel of the glove, but look at where the ball is. It's high enough where he can pick it up, get it with his throwing hand, and still get the out at first base. He wanted to turn 2 on that. He's fortunate he got 1.
I'll tell you what, I'm thrilled he got an out right there, but I'll tell you what, a lot of second basemen, that's a double play.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. I mean, I got to have it.
Sends up Vasquez with a man at second, 1 down. He's 4 for 6 against Cobb. So not a big sample, but appears to see him well. And a breaking ball in for strike 1.
Not to bring up Pedroia, but he turns that.
Yeah, he does. The ball came up, and it did hit him in the heel of the glove. He was in good position to make that spin throw to second base, but when you get a bounce like that, he was just fortunate to get an out there.
Vasquez did not play yesterday, but hitting .385 since July 29th. That is number 1 in the big leagues. And he lines that one. That's going to drop down for a base hit. Charging in Smith. They're going to wave around Moreland. The throw is bobbled. It's off for Cobb. Down to second. Vasquez. He keeps on going as it scoots into foul territory. The Red Sox on the board, and Vasquez continues to punish Alex Cobb.
I'm loving this. I mean, I just love this swing by Vasquez to the opposite field. And I got to tell you, Moreland, to me, he slowed up a little bit going to third base, and Butterfield was bringing him around. Look how that ball's inside, but the hands come inside the baseball and drives it the other way on a line. Now he's looking to see if Moreland's going to score. Moreland actually was looking at the ball and see if it was going to be caught, and then Butterfield just waved him in, and then everything goes awry for the Rays after that.
Everything worked out perfect. He could have got thrown out of the plate.
Yep.
I'm surprised he even waved him on. Smith has no arm. He throws it offline. They don't cut it. What a mess of a play.
That might be the worst throw I've seen from right field this season.
Right. It was totally awful.
Yeah, Red Sox benefit on top 1-0. Infield in now for Brock Holt. As he checks his swing, so it's Vasquez all the way down to third.
He's running around like he's like speedster out there, wasn't he?
Very alertly all the way to third base as the throw caromed off Cobb.
I'll see if they play contact. Vasquez runs pretty well, and they got the infield in, 1 out. Good time to do it. Got a right-hander on deck. They might try it.
Throw bouncing off of Duda. Duda is actually charged with an error. It's base hit and an RBI. Vasquez winding up all the way at third base. 28 RBIs for him in the 2-1.
I mean, that to me was risky sending Moreland. You know, with one out. I mean,
and that's Butterfield. You know, he's gonna take chances. There's no question about that. He's shown that from day one here with the Red Sox. That he's going to be very aggressive as a third base coach. Now Moreland got trapped a little bit by looking at the outfield. He wasn't sure that ball was going to be caught or not.
3-1 to Holt. Walked him. So he's walked 2 men in the inning. First and third now for Sam Travis.
Now watch Moreland at second base. See, he's not sure if that ball's going to be caught. He's looking back, and then when he looks up, he's got Butter down the line waving him home. He says, "I'm going to pick it up a little bit," and actually nothing ever happened at home plate. But Brian Butterfield, one of the most aggressive third base coaches that I have ever come across. He tries to force errors on outfielders. He's going to make them show him his arm.
And he's a little angry right now after what happened to the Pats.
Yes, he is. Did Michigan win yesterday? Michigan must have won a football game yesterday. That'll make him happy too. So he's unhappy and happy in the same week.
Travis 306 at the big league level with no home runs. They're trying to pick up his second RBI. Sam getting a start today at first base.
Remember the other night, Ramos making throws to second base? I mean, they were not even close.
the line was ugly.
Yeah, you might want to take advantage of that here with Holt.
One down and a run in. That's exactly what they're thinking.
The stretch has not been good for Cobb so far. Not that that ball was hit that hard by Vasquez, but
next stolen base for the Red Sox will be their 100th of the season. They're 5th in the majors in steals. Not running, and that's high.
He took about 3 steps towards second base, which is always a good move because what it does, it takes that second baseman out of position. He was going over to cover the bag, which left the right side wide open.
beautiful.
There's that fake towards second base, and the second baseman was over covering the bag, so there was a big hole on the right side.
2-1. Red Sox with 2 stolen bases last night. They're 59 for their last 71. It's 83%.
If he's going to go, I think he's going to go on this pitch.
This is the action pitch, 2-1, huh?
Yep.
He goes, and it's fouled away.
You got it.
And keep throwing stuff out there. Heck, you nail one once in a while, you know?
I get it.
Just a matter of time. I mean, you know, we saw what Ramos did the other night throwing the baseball. He couldn't come close to second base, and the Red Sox are going to push the envelope. They've been doing it all season long.
In fact, they're 21 for their last 23. That's over 91%. So really effectively picking spots to run. 2-2. He goes again. Ball 3, the throw down, and not in time. Runner holding at third, Vasquez. Another Red Sox stolen base.
Yeah, you know, and I kind of blame Miller for this one a little bit. Now, you know, I'm sure Holt would have been safe, but watch where Miller takes this throw. He's going to be so far in front of the bag that he can't even sweep tag. I mean, you know, catchers used to yell at me if I got in front of the bag like that. They wanted me straddling the bag. But sometimes when you have a catcher that is throwing wildly at second base, you have a tendency to creep up. And that's not a good habit for a second baseman, a shortstop, to get into.
3-2 got a piece. Who would yell at you?
Oh, I remember I remember getting yelled at during infield practice when I was, a young player, first couple of years with the Angels, and even in infield practice, those catchers didn't want me creeping up, on those throws to second base.
They want to let the ball travel.
Yeah, because you catch it, you slap the tag down. When you come in front of the bag, you got a long reach to make. I think Pudge yelled at me a couple of times too.
I'll bet he did. 1 out. Infield in. 2 men in scoring position. Fly to right field. Now Smith had trouble with that last throw. He's coming in. Vasquez trying to score. Here's the throw to the plate. He slides and he is out at home. Let's see if the Red Sox challenge this.
That's a redeemer there for Smith.
It winds up being a double play if it holds up. John Farrell thinking about a challenge.
You see the tag. Does he get the tag down?
Oh, challenge this one.
Yes, Red Sox will
challenge that one. The tag. I think the foot's on the bag on the plate.
Yeah, the other view. I think this is a better view. No. Yeah, you can't see here. I think the foot's on.
Yeah, the first shot we had, I think, was the best. Let's take a look.
Yeah,
safe.
Yeah, because his glove's too far behind the plate.
Yep.
The home plate umpire Onora could not have had a better view.
Yeah, he's got himself in great position, doesn't he?
To me, that's a lazy tag, is what it is. You got to get it over there and dive on him almost.
Let's see, he's creeping up that first base line, and you're right about diving, but he's safe.
Yeah.
That should be another run.
I mean, the throw beat him. It just he carried the tag to him, and he was behind the plate.
That's where I think umpires have to change some things, because the throw beat him. That doesn't mean that you're going to get an out on it.
And nowadays, that doesn't matter anymore. The throw beating him.
Yeah, even the Rays are going back on the field.
Oh
yes.
yeah.
Pretty obvious. So Travis, we think, is going to pick up an RBI on this.
Vasquez runs pretty good. He really does for a catcher.
Made a nice slide at home plate too, because he knows the ball's up the first base line, and he uses that little hook slide feet first into home plate.
He's running pretty good though, but it's all about the slide and a bad tag.
Shouldn't take this long. It really should. I mean, we called this one a minute and a half ago. Of course, we're not partial.
And that's not such a bad time to be aggressive, right? 2 outs, go for it.
No, you got to go.
Yep, you got to go.
Especially when
after
you saw
the throw before, right? Yeah,
absolutely. This time he made a pretty good throw, but to us it looked like Christian Vasquez scored.
This is the best look, I think, right here, and you'll see Vasquez coming across that bag, and then the tag comes on. Not the bag, the plate. I always do that. I call home plate the bag. I don't know why.
Just don't call it the dish.
Yeah.
Please.
Well, this is taking forever for a call that appears very obvious to us.
Into the Tampa Bay Rays.
Yeah.
Cobb's making warm-up throws.
Echeverria never left shortstop. He's still out there. But they're continuing to look in New York. The play is under review. At the moment, the Red Sox leading 1-0. But if they,
I might get thrown out of this game.
let's see. And,
you gotta be kidding me!
You gotta be kidding me!
Wow. That's a shock.
That's unbelievable.
How do you do that? How do you get that wrong?
Oh, come on.
Was that inconclusive? Are you kidding me?
It's pretty darn conclusive, if you ask me. We're going to go to break.
Wow.
Red Sox leading 1-0. That turns out to be a double play. Insurance, great service, great coverage, and a great price. Subaru of New England, supplying all-wheel drive vehicles with a passion for fall activities. And by don't miss the Choose Your Ride giveaway Saturdays in September only at Plainridge Park Casino.
Well, we're all in shock after that last call, and John Farrell went out between innings to talk to the first base umpire, Emil. Now, you can't argue, obviously, but he wanted an explanation on, how they came to that decision. And my guess is they had to say it was inconclusive.
That's it.
Miller launches a high, deep fly ball toward the triangle, but Jackie Bradley back there just shy of it. Well, let's take another look. I would have bet the mortgage.
Oh, yeah.
I did.
I mean, it's up the line just a hair, and he carries the tag all the way behind the plate. The glove was behind the plate. See? What's the glove?
I mean, the only thing that they could possibly say is that
his foot was in the air?
That the foot was in the air, but it looked like it had plenty of the plate before the tag.
Well,
I guess.
Well, I'm still in the game. I didn't get thrown out because they couldn't hear me yelling.
The giveaway, as you said, Jerry, was the fact that the pitcher never left. Never left the mound. The shortstop never left shortstop, and about 5 other guys were hovering around from the Tampa Bay side. They were convinced that he was going to be ruled safe, but double play. Ramos, the batter, 226 with 6 home runs. Although in his career, he's been a much better hitting catcher than that.
Ramos not real swift behind the plate. I mean, I know he's coming off an injury last year to his knee.
Porcello with a 2-1 and chop foul.
Galarraga, we called him a couple months ago, didn't we?
Very similar hitting style. Andres Galarraga, the big cat, really one of the nicest men to put on a baseball uniform at the major league level. Three and 2. Sox will be off tomorrow. Then invite in the Oakland A's on Tuesday. Erod to pitch on Tuesday night. Doug Fister on Wednesday. Drew Pomerantz on Thursday afternoon. And the Red Sox will hit the road for an extended period. Last really long trip. Talk about postseason play, but as far as the regular season, last trip period, Tampa Bay, Baltimore, and Cincinnati. That Oakland team just swept Houston.
Man.
Once again, right there, Porcello going for that strikeout with a high fastball up around the letter high. And Ramos able to foul it off. There's that cross seamer, the 4-seamer that he just fouls off.
Thank God it's high.
Looking for the K. Bogarts will hoover that up. 2 down.
VIP hurling packages are available now. Get great match tickets, a VIP on-field tour, and meet hurling special guests at a pre-match Irish breakfast. Packages include hotel discounts and reduced airfare with Aer Lingus for fans coming from Ireland. Call 617-226-6400 or email travel@redsox.com for more info.
I like the sound of that, the Irish breakfast. Got a nice ring to it. Malik Smith here is recalled from AAA Durham on September 5th. He's been up and down on several occasions for the Rays this season. Getting just 186 his last 15 games in the majors, though. Only 1 base runner so far against Porcello. That was the Morrison walk to lead off the second.
Well, see, Deva's way in at third base on the grass. Malik Smith can run, and even with 2 outs, respecting the speed and bunting ability. They used to say, guys don't bunt with 2 outs, try to hit a double. Well, it's not easy to hit a double, but if you're a guy that can run like Smith can, he's got 16 steals on the season. You can bunt for a base hit and then steal second base. Same thing.
They always come up at third on you all the time.
Yeah, and I never bunted at third base. I don't know why they did, but they would come up very close on me at third base and especially at first base. I used to drag 90% of the time. And later on in my career, because they were playing me in at third base, I learned how to bunt to shortstop. And I picked up a few base hits that way.
That would drive me crazy.
Yeah, I know that would really tick you off.
Just like CC said, I don't play that. I don't play that game.
Well, you know what happened? The third base would be so close. And then I'd take a pitch and I'd look at the shortstop. If he wasn't coming in, I'd say, why not?
Yeah, I get it.
And I'd slap one to him.
3-2 on Smith. Kiermaier on deck. Sox in front 1-0. And most of the Red Sox probably thinking it should be a 2-0. Chop that one. Devers to his left. High throw, the tag, and no. First base umpire said he didn't get him.
Tried to hurry that throw is what he did and got away from him just a hair.
Yeah, that's what speed does. You know, it makes you, it forces you to rush things. And that's exactly what happened with Devers. Now, he's got the big bounce right here in the second half. And he knows he's going to rush to first base. So his body was not in a good position to make that throw. He had to kind of throw it sidearm to first base. Just takes off on him. And Travis had to come off the bag to make the catch. But you know, he's mad at himself, but the fact is he didn't have time to set up.
No, he had to hurry up.
So an E5 brings up Kiermaier 0 for 1. He's grounded to short. Smith on with 2 down.
Now you got to expect him to steal, right? Because you know he's got good speed. Here's Devers again. You can see that he doesn't have time to really get focused to first base. He's got to kind of open up that front foot to make the throw and get rid of it as quickly as possible. Porcello checking him over there because I'm quite sure he's going to try to go if he gets the right jump.
16 bags on the year, you see.
This is not an easy combination to run on. Porcello's pretty quick to the plate, and of course Vasquez, we know what he can do from behind the plate. He's thrown out 35% of the runners.
Kiermaier's had a tough time with Porcello. 0 for 1 today, and it was a .222 career hitter against him coming in.
Is that a balk? He didn't step off?
Yes.
He didn't
No,
step off?
he stepped off. They're going to say no. First base
There you go.
umpire is going to
There
say
you
no, Emil. He stepped off.
Home plate umpire Onora had a different idea, and that was.
See, this looks unusual. Like, did he sure he stepped off?
Whoa.
I don't know.
Yeah. Watch that back leg.
Yeah, I guess.
He did,
But he's moving to first at the same time.
There was a little flinch there, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Going toward home plate. Then he stepped off. I think he might have got away with one there.
Taking another look.
Watch the flinch. Right there, and then step off. See, to me.
Yeah, he started up.
Yeah,
like,
to me, that's a balk.
Yeah, that's a balk.
I don't know if that makes up for the call at home plate.
No.
And the 0-2. Did he hold up? That is strike 3. Quinn Walcott ringing him up. Kiermaier in disbelief. Red Sox leading at 1-0. Trusted source for Red Sox tickets. From bleachers to boxes, Ace has the lowest prices to games at Fenway with a 200% guarantee. Visit aceticket.com now or call 1-800-MY-SEATS. Sox coming to bat. It'll be Jackie Bradley, Xander Bogaerts, and Andrew Benintendi. Jackie hitting for the first time. Looking for his first hit against Alex Cobb. He's 0 for 12 lifetime. We're talking about the Houston Astros and the Oakland A's. The A's are going for the sweep today. They haven't gotten it yet, but trying to sweep Houston. Meanwhile, the Indians are working on a 17-game winning streak as they take on Baltimore. And the Yankees will be getting underway in about 40 minutes at Texas. Sox with a 4.5-game lead. Two and one on Jackie.
I think that's the first changeup right there we've seen from Cobb this afternoon, and here it is, the third inning. Very unusual.
Especially for a Tampa Bay pitcher. Hard hit, base hit, a dive and a miss by Miller. So Jackie, his first career hit against Cobb, and he stung it.
Seems like his first career hit against Tampa, doesn't it? He hit $150 coming in lifetime against the Rays, and he gets a fastball here, and he goes to work on it. That ball should be a bullet somewhere right down the middle. 2-1 count.
One of those top spin line drives that gets through in a hurry.
So Sox with his second hit against the righty. Xander Bogaerts is 0 for 1 today. Struck out in the first inning, but he's 5 for 12 off this guy.
You know what I do? I play a little hit and run with Bogaerts, and I'll tell you why I say that. He likes to move the ball the other way. He's struggling at the plate a little bit. Sometimes the concentration of putting on the hit and run makes you stay on the baseball a little bit longer and you know, move that ball to the opposite field.
And this guy's around the plate.
Yep.
Pitcher. You never see anybody pitch out anymore, do you, Jay? I mean, really, just
not
flat
that much.
out pitch out.
That's a good point.
Benintendi on deck, and the 1-0. Strike.
Did you like to pitch out? You must have hated that.
I hated it.
Yeah, I mean,
I
it's
really
like giving away a pitch.
But you know, I'll tell you what, we had to.
Yeah.
We had to. It's the only way I was going to throw somebody out.
Yeah.
But you know, if you throw strikes, I mean, you can pitch out 2-0, and you know they're going to go. But now you're 3-0.
Ooh, a little bit of a
Back in.
lean. A little bit of a lean that time.
Another thing you don't see very often is exactly what you're suggesting, is the hit and run.
Yeah, it's you know, Red Sox use it a lot with Vasquez. I'd like to see it in this situation. I really would.
See what Bradley's up to. 1-1.
It gets to the point doing the games in the American League, and even with the Red Sox over the years, you don't have to think about anything. Guy gets on first, and you don't even pay attention. But now it's like a thing. This is happening.
Nobody out, a man on, runner holding.
Almost leaned into that breaking ball.
Another long look down to Butterfield at third base. Goes through his set of signs that he received from the dugout.
This is action time, Jerry.
Yeah, we'll see if there's anything on. 2-1. Got to expect a strike in this situation. Bradley's got 8 steals, and he's treating him like he's got 48.
This is the long-awaited hit and run. Here we go.
Big hole on that right side, and a 2-1. Runner stays put, and that's a ball. So 3-1.
Now you're going to get something to hit. That's what happens, you know. You concern yourself with a guy at first. Next thing you know, it's party time. 3-1. Fastball in.
Runner stays put again and fouled away, and Ramos took the brunt.
It looks like he gets it right off the foot. Let's see. Yeah, right off. They got that flap that goes over the top of the foot, but I'll tell you, they don't make much of a difference, do they? That still hurts.
Home plate umpire Onora having a conversation with Cobb just to allow the catcher to collect himself.
Might affect his speed, Ramos, going forward.
Probably not much.
Hasn't affected Vasquez's speed, huh? He's running. Tonight at 10 on NESN Sports Today, we'll save you time and get you up to speed on all the news, including an update on the Bruins rookie camp and the latest from the Patriots. NESN Sports Today is presented by People's United Bank. See what know-how can do.
The Sox with one run up there, should have two, based on a replay review that they appeared to miss in New York for some reason. But during the 4-game winning streak, Red Sox have outscored their opponents 27-6, averaging about 7 runs a game.
Now let's see if they send Bradley here on the 3-2 count. I would imagine they would. Another fastball inside part of the plate.
Jackie runs, and it's stung. Big hop to Longoria. He gathers and gets him. Another one hit right on the screws, and Bradley safely to second.
Yeah, that was a bullet right there by Bogaerts, and that would have been a double play, but it's not going to be because they do send Bradley on the 3-2 count for that reason, to stay out of a possible double play. So the Red Sox do get recorded out, but they get a man in a scoring position.
That was a nice pick, I thought, by Longoria.
They're still among the best defensive third basemen in the majors. Benintendi now struck out in the first inning, has an RBI chance here. Drove in 3 last night with 3 hits, as the Sox ran away and hid. And he pops that one foul back out of play.
Yeah, it's early in the ball game. It's only the 3rd inning, but a lot happened in this game so far. There's been a lot of stuff going on. Play at home plate.
All this stealing stuff and hit and run. What is this stuff?
This is Red Sox baseball, Ed.
Yeah.
As you know, through history.
Yeah.
That'll tell you.
Betts on deck. Bradley is second, 1 away. And the 0-1 from Cobb. Lashed foul.
I can remember 78. I was the only guy on that team that could steal a base, and I had what I call the yellow light. I didn't have the green light or the red light. I had the yellow light. Run with caution. And I remember one day.
He told you that?
I'm here. This is the truth. I'm here at Fenway Park, and I take off to steal second base. I get thrown out at second base. I come back in the dugout, and Zim says to me, Don Zimmer, he says, "Do you see where the flag's blowing?" I said, "I didn't check the weather before I came." You know, and he says, "The flag's blowing out." And he says, "You got Rice behind you, Yastrzemski, Fisk." He says, "Don't be running." I says, "Well, I thought I was on my own." He says, "You run with caution here."
Swing and a miss.
Well, we're trying to go bridge here, Jerry. Like calm down with this stolen base stuff.
Yeah,
Right.
but then when you go on the road, he wanted me to steal more, and I mean, you can't turn it on and off.
I get it.
I mean, you just can't do it. It's
You
like,
pick your spot.
Yeah, exactly. So, but I said, okay, so from now on, here at Fenway, I got the yellow light. I mean, I better be darn sure that I can make it to second base. And I tell you what, those guys would get ticked off if I got thrown out.
Yeah.
You know, because they all could take it out of the ballpark.
From then on, did you check those flags at home?
I checked it every day.
Every day?
And I check it every day as an announcer.
Get into that habit. Well, here's Mookie Betts with 2 down. Red Sox trying to double up the lead here. Mookie 2 for 8 so far in the series. and a 5-game hitting streak. Fourth in the American League with runners in scoring position, batting .358. Moved him back, a little jackknife there. It's 1-1.
You wonder what kind of light Mookie Betts has, or Benintendi, or Bogart, or, the guys that can run here. What kind of light? They have no yellow light. What do they got?
I think a lot of these guys have the green light to go.
Right.
Yeah.
And
I
if
think
they screw it up, then they'll.
Yeah. Then they'll have a stop sign. Where there's certain situations where they don't want them to run.
Mookie with 24 stolen bases in 27 tries. Very high success rate, near 90% when he runs. Cobb very deliberate with men on base. And finally a 1-1 and a chopper foul.
We talk about the Red Sox running and everything. Like Benny, he's a rookie. I mean, does he have the green light? You don't just let him go wild, because he does go wild, doesn't he? Beyond trying to steal bags.
It's interesting. I think what happens at the beginning, you run on a sign, and then they give you a period where they'll put you on your own, and if you show you can do it, then you're fine.
I got it.
But you always have that stop sign when they don't want you to run.
Cobb with a 1-2 to Mookie Betts. And got him. Struck him out. 92-mile-an-hour fastball, and the side is retired. One left. Best record in the American League. Text 1 for the Astros, 2 for the Cleveland Indians. Text or answer to 536-536. Message and data rates may apply. 1 message per vote. And right now, it's just about a dead heat between those two. The Indians going for an amazing 18 consecutive wins. Terry Francona's Tribe now at a record of 86-56. Houston at 86-56, so they are dead even. Houston's lost 3 in a row. So it is on to the 4th inning, a 1-0 Red Sox lead. Lucas Duda 0 for 1. He's flying to center. We're going to be getting an update from Fox 25 on Hurricane Irma in just a moment. The Rays have been talking about it for the last several days. They were able to bring their families on this trip and get them out of Florida, join them here in Boston. The Red Sox are supposed to have a series very soon coming up in Tampa, St. Petersburg. Supposed to be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Here comes the 2-0 to Duda, and he popped him up, but back out of play. Longoria on deck, and then Morrison second time around against Rick Porcello. Rays have been tough on Rick. He's 1-3 with a 5.18 ERA against them. Popped up. Here comes Vasquez over near the on deck area, over near the netting, but it's into the box seats.
Dangerous running over there because you go by the on deck circle where there's all kind of stuff, lead bats, pine tar, rosin, all kind of stuff down there, and he was able to sidestep that, and the ball goes back in the stands a few rows.
Who hurt themselves? Wasn't it Veritek that got hurt?
He did.
Remember that?
He did. It was actually, I believe, at that time they had kind of a, not cement, but it was a hard surface for an on deck circle. And that's how he hurt himself.
You know, my memory on that was those plastic portable things. And he slipped on that, cracked his elbow.
Exactly.
Yeah, very dangerous. 2-2. Hard hit down the line. Betts on the attack, but that's going to bounce on the warning track, and that'll be a double as it skips up into the seats. So Lucas Duda nailing one down to the corner for a 2-base hit. Time for us to turn it over to Sarah Robleski at Fox 25. Sarah, thank you so much for joining us. Can you give an update on the storm?
Yeah, you know, Irma was actually just downgraded to a Category 3 hurricane, but that really doesn't mean anything for the fact that the winds are still over 100 miles an hour and really starting to pack a punch across the western coast of Florida. It should weaken as it pushes northward later on tonight into tomorrow, but you know it right now from Tampa to Fort Myers. We're really dealing with that heavy rain and some of the strongest winds right now, expecting to see some damage across this region. And as the storm lifts to the north, then the winds are going to turn back on along the coast, and that is going to increase that storm surge threat. So we're dealing with the heavy rain as well as the risk of some tornadoes and the strongest winds right now. But as we go through time, the storm surge and flooding are also going to be an issue.
Sarah, thank you very much. Appreciate the update. And we'll be back with you a little later on in the broadcast today. Longoria popping up. That'll bring up Morrison with a man at second base. Of course, you saw Fort Myers right in the middle there. Spring training home of the Red Sox.
Yeah, a lot of Red Sox players have homes in the Fort Myers, Naples area. And they were certainly paying attention this morning in the clubhouse to what was going on down in Florida.
Sure. Now here's Morrison. Took a walk in the second inning. Red Sox leading it 1-0. He's been a big RBI guy this season with 82 of them.
Porcello's got to be careful with that curveball.
A double by Duda, their first hit today, off of Rick.
Yeah, Duda 2-0. He threw him a cutter, fouled it off. See what he'll do here to Morrison.
Morrison number 5 in the American League in home runs with 36. Checked his swing and across for a strike right there at the knee at 93.
Man, low paint.
And that's really where Morrison likes it too, down low.
Well, he just stuck it down there, didn't he?
Duda at second with one man gone.
And heck with that curveball. He goes to the cutter.
And so often you'll see that on our pitch tracks there. It'll show up as a slider. Sometimes there's almost no difference between the cutter and the slider.
It's going sideways. Cutter is usually harder than a slider.
Right. Well, the count goes to 3-1. Breaking ball, and he missed with it. So he's walked him twice, been very careful with him. That'll put runners at first and second for Dickerson.
The most popular way to follow the Red Sox postseason push is with MLB.com at bat, the #1 mobile app for live Red Sox baseball. Enjoy game day, live game video highlights, news, StatCast, and more. Download MLB.com at bat today.
Dickerson, a guy skidding right now, 0 for his last 13, so Porcello seeing him at a good time, and he struck him out in the second.
Well, he didn't look good his last at bat. He got swung through 3 fastballs, I believe.
I got beat finally on a fastball away from him for strike 3. He's way off the plate, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. Well, I hope that hole in his bat just continues till they leave town. This ball, look at this. Cross seam, uppercut. Mr. Launch Angle.
It's been pretty good with runners in scoring position. 315 for the season. Ground ball and a foul off first base. And Porcello has had 1 double play turn in the second inning. And typically, when he's really sailing along, he gets more than his share of those. They're trying to pick up his 10th win of the season.
Where do you go here, 0-2? What do you do here? Set something up?
I'd try to go down and away from him again, or maybe even up and away, because he looked bad on that last one the last time up. He was way behind it.
So try to dot him outside?
I think so. Yep.
He did.
You didn't have to dot him, just blow him away.
Swing and a miss.
This is like, you showed a replay between his first at bat and his second at bat. You're seeing the same thing.
I mean, there's a hole in his bat. Look at this thing. It's outside, though. You know, he's trying to reach for it a little bit. Once again, that uppercut.
I mean, he's looking for nothing except middle in.
Yes.
Every time a Sox pitcher strikes out a Rays batter, Lexus will donate $50 to the Greater Boston Food Bank. So 3 strikeouts for the right-hander, and 2 of them are Dickerson. Echeverria now, he hit into a double play in the second inning. He'll take a strike. I think one of the things that really marked Porcello's Cy Young year last year was his ability to pitch out of situations like this.
Oh, yeah.
Over and over.
Because he gives up hits. He's going to have runners on base, although his whip was outrageous last year.
Hard hit, but Bogart snags it from the outfield. Grass, long throw, skipped it. He got him.
Oh, nice play, Travis.
Travis at first base, digging it out. And Porcello, with an inning that started with a double, gets out of that unscathed. Deaconess Medical Center. The first aid station is right behind Section 12 in the lower concourse. Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center. Visit bidmc.org.
You know, baseball is a game of split decisions, very quick decisions, and you can see Travis makes one here. Now, this ball's going to bounce. You got a man at second base. Do I block the ball or I try to catch it? He tries to catch it. If that ball gets by him or he bobbles it, a run scores from second base, and you get a tie ball game. So you got to make that decision very, very quickly. He made the decision to try to pick it, and he did.
I'm surprised that Bogey didn't try force out at second base.
Yeah, sometimes you get carried away, you know, going in that direction where you think you don't have time to make the play at second base.
Yeah, I get it.
Moreland leading off here in the bottom of the fourth. Red Sox had 1-0.
That ball goes in the dugout, though. I'm saying, man, why don't we just take a force out at second?
Yeah.
Moreland has scored the only run in the game officially. Rolled into the shift, and Miller from the dirt. One man gone.
Yeah, Tuesday at 6. Don't miss Red Sox first pitch, presented by Joseph Aboud. Available at Men's Warehouse. We'll preview the pitching matchup between Sean Manaea and Eduardo Rodriguez. Manaea, never mind. I'll get it right Tuesday night.
Oh, you got it there.
Manaea?
Manaea, yeah. You're golden.
Thank you.
Here's Devers. Rafael 0 for 1. 306 with 8 home runs. Vasquez after him. Certainly looked like Christian Vasquez scored a run on a play at home plate, but he was called out, and then on the appeal to New York on the review, they upheld the call, which was a stunner. In there for a strike. Devers has now played in 39 major league games. He's reached base in 32 of them.
I'll tell you, Jerry, we just haven't seen that changeup. We've seen curveballs.
Yeah.
One changeup, right?
Yeah,
I don't remember.
It's kind of like his last start act, you know, where he threw, I think, 33% curveballs
Here it
and
is.
only 15 changeups.
Here it is.
And a ground ball right to first. Duda will handle that himself. 2 down.
I guess I shouldn't be telling him to throw changeups. There's outs on changeups.
The Red Sox Showcase Red Sox Virtual Reality and the Virtual Reality Home Run Challenge are now available for your next event. For more information, email Red Sox Showcase at redsox.com or call 617-226-6900.
Vasquez with a base hit to drive in a run his first trip. He's played 8 games in his career here at Fenway against Tampa Bay. He's hitting .481 with 7 RBIs against him.
He's got a great batting average at home, period, this year,
has,
right?
Really has. 368 and leads the American League. Nobody aboard, 2 down, and Cobb with a 1-0.
Boy, he could dot that outside corner, man. He's got great command of his fastball. That's what I've seen today from Cobb, and he got out of that inning. We'll never know what would have happened if he's safe at the plate.
He's back in the second inning. And a 1-1.
That's a good pitch. Good breaking ball right there by Cobb.
Perfect.
Looks like he took just a little bit off it, too. And perfect location, down and away.
I mean, this is a beautiful thing. This guy could pitch.
One, 2 on the way.
He's been dealing now. I mean, this guy's last 14 starts, 2.9 ERA. I believe this guy's a free agent at the end of the year. Don't hold me to it, but I think he is. He's going to make some money.
Signed only through the end of this season. 2 and flared foul.
He deserves it too. He's going through some tough times, man, with surgeries and spent a lot of time on a disabled list. Had to battle his way back last year. Was not nearly as effective, coming back that first year after Tommy John, and now he looks like himself again.
Mentioned he was born in Boston but moved to Florida when his family moved. He was just 2 years old. Made a lot of return trips growing up back to Fenway. Sox were his favorite club. And a base hit up the middle. Vasquez continues to do damage here at Fenway Park.
This guy is a completely different hitter this year. He just really is. He's so confident.
A couple of things to watch, when you're looking at him, and that I think he's doing very, very well. And it's only my third game back, but the fact is he's got that open stance, but he's closing it up very nicely. He's going directly to the pitcher, so he's seeing the ball well with a slightly open stance, and then he closes it up as he goes to the pitch. The other thing he's doing, he's taking his bat and he's tapping it on his shoulder about 3 times, so he knows exactly where to start with his hands all the time. He knows when and he's tapping that bat on his shoulder, that he's getting his hands in the same position every time. Those are 2 things that I've noticed over the last couple of days.
Rocco walked first time up and then stole a base.
Now watch Vasquez. Watch the bat. This is 1, 2, and then he's ready to go. And then that foot comes directly toward he's got the open stance, but the foot comes directly toward the pitcher. That's a nice looking swing.
So that's his timing mechanism. That 2 taps.
Yeah, it's a good habit, I think, to get in, because you always know where your hands are on. They're in the right spot. Sometimes guys get carried away. They're carrying them too low or too high. But if you start on your shoulder and you just lift from there, you know exactly where you are.
2 down and a 1-1, and that'll miss. So is that akin to the old Joe Morgan, flap down?
Yeah, well, that was a trigger point for him, and it looked kind of weird, but I mean, it certainly worked for him, that's for sure.
All the way to the Hall of Fame.
Yep.
Travis on deck. Red Sox had 1-0 in the 4th inning. He thought about it, but held off. Good take there, and the count goes to 3-1.
Baseball is such a game of repetition and habits, and it's always interesting if you come to the ballpark and you watch guys get ready on deck. They will almost always go through the exact same routine.
Ground ball and right to Miller, and got him at first base. 1 man left. We've wrapped up 4. Still a 1-0 lead for the Red Sox. Years to extend their commitment to helping people lead tobacco-free lives and move us one step closer toward a tobacco-free generation. You can learn more at cbshelps.com/be the first. Dennis Eckersley, Jerry Remy, Dave O'Brien, and Garen Austin with you from Fenway. Moving on to the 5th inning, a 1-0 Sox lead. And Tampa Bay will bring up Miller, Ramos, and Smith against Rick Porcello, who's allowed only 1 hit. Leadoff double by Duda in the 4th inning. Nothing came of that. He's already gotten Miller once and a fly to center.
Well, we got to be careful with this Miller guy. I mean, he's taken him deep 5 times. First time up took him Bradley back to the track and center.
Miller, however, just 2 for his last 21. Red Sox hopeful of winding up this Sunday with a 5.5 game lead over the Yankees. And heading into a week of some uncertainty because not sure about that upcoming Tampa Bay series at Tropicana Field, what the storm might mean for that. That's a base hit down the line, going to be extra base, going to keep on rolling into that corner. Heading into second base, Miller, and a stand-up double. So despite his slump, he sees Porcello well.
And here's a guy, Miller, that's taking you deep, like I said, 5 times, and he slaps a ball right down the left field line.
Yeah, you know, you got to give him credit because the Red Sox made the pitch they wanted to. It may have been a little bit higher than they wanted it. They wanted to go away with it, but he just takes it and. Well, that's a weird looking swing right there, but a good result.
But we've seen that from him a lot, haven't we? Some Miller with that hack.
So for the 2nd inning in a row, they have a double off Porcello to lead off. Sends up Ramos. 0 for 6 career against Porcello. And in this one, he is grounded to short.
Careful here. This guy scares me. And he's had some fastballs to hit the first time up. Remember, he had him 3-2, threw him a couple fastballs up. Or if he goes in again.
Tying run in scoring position. And fouled away quickly to the right.
It looks like he was definitely trying to move that ball to the right side. That was not a home run swing by any means. He was trying to move that runner from second to third with nobody out.
Ramos last season with the Nationals hit .307 with 22 homers and 80 runs batted in. Very good offensive catcher. Tried to check, and he did.
Run that ball in twice to him.
I think Porcello thinks, and you know, that one swing kind of indicated he was trying to go the other way, and now they're trying to jam him inside. If he's still trying to go the other way, now I think with a 2-1 count, he's going to try to go bridge.
2-1. Poked it the other way. A floater.
Look at this thing.
That'll drop down for a hit. Rounding third, coming in to score, Miller. As the throw goes into second base, Ramos dunking one in to tie the ball game.
Well, that is absolutely ugly. Oh, this is just an ugly thing.
Well, he did not try to go deep that time. He takes the slider that's really off the plate by about 4 or 5 inches and right toward the end of the bat just drops it into the twilight zone out there for the base hit.
I mean, what are you going to do? You bury that slider is all you could have done. I mean, the ball, like I said, is off the plate, and he just finds some grass out there. Oh, that just stings you, man, when you're pitching.
Now the backside was gone. Everything was gone except the hands were in a decent position to at least make contact.
Smith flares that one foul. Reached on an error by the third baseman Devers first time up. So all even at 1. The double by Miller and then the base hit by Ramos is even the score. Hits are now even at 3. And Kevin Kiermaier on deck for Tampa Bay. Third baseman Devers is in against the bunt. 2 strikes on Smith.
Man, he was late.
Now he's got to tell himself to quicken up a little bit. Changeup might not be a bad pitch,
Yeah,
right?
Really, but then it might speed his bat up. Fastball up.
Yep.
Oh, 2. Fly ball again, not hit deep, coming on Benintendi. That's the first out here in the 5th inning.
Yeah, Tuesday at 6:30. Don't miss Red Sox Game Day Live, presented by DCU. We'll preview the pitching matchup between Sean Manaea and Eduardo Rodriguez. DCU, Digital Federal Credit Union. What can DCU save you?
One away, Kiermaier next. He's 0 for 2, and more sunshine suddenly on the diamond. He's been in and out today. He has grounded to short and struck out. They had a lot of guys slumping coming into Boston. He is not one of them. He's hitting .341 in his last 20 games.
And he's been swinging a lot since he got here. I mean, he's just been aggressive.
And playing great defense.
He's only got 28 walks on the whole season, 79 strikeouts. Make it 80 with the one today.
0-2.
And I don't recall us seeing him leading off. Do you? I remember him late, deep in the lineup.
A lot of times not
Right?
around the 7 spot.
Yeah. He could run a little bit, obviously.
It's only the 11th time this year he's led off. Oh, 2, and he spoiled that one out of play, foul. Sox with a day off tomorrow and then open a series against the Oakland Athletics on Tuesday. It's a uniform that one Dennis Eckersley styled very nicely.
Love that uni.
The 0-2 again. I was watching the movie Sully the other day about the pilot who made the landing in the Hudson. There's a scene in the movie where 2 young guys are arguing over who is the best closer in the history of baseball.
Yeah,
They're both New Yorkers, and one of them said it is Dennis Eckersley.
I like that.
The
guy.
other one said it's Mariano Rivera. They went
course
back
it
and
is.
forth in the film.
It's a no-brainer. But meanwhile, I heard about that. It's funny how I never saw the movie, but people told me about it.
We got to see it now.
Yeah, it's flattering.
Sure. Especially 2 New Yorkers.
I'm surprised the one New Yorker even took Eck. I mean,
Yeah, really.
with Rivera,
Yeah.
Please, it's no-brainer.
He was adamant. 2-2. Missed in.
Well, he made his pitches now. How's he going to put them away?
Duda on deck. A run in to tie it. 1-1 game in the 5th. And a line drive. They'll find a home into center field for a base hit. Ramos to second and stopping there. So that's 3 hits in the inning off Porcello.
Now tonight on Charlie Moore Outdoors, Charlie takes a solo fishing trip up in southern New Hampshire. The Mad Fisherman cooks a few of his favorite dishes. Catch it all tonight at 6:30 on Charlie Moore Outdoors.
So Duda to hit. He doubled last inning. He's also fly to center field. 11 home runs. He swings for the fences.
Yeah, this guy scares me too. Hit the breaking ball. One hopped into the seats last time up.
Duda's last 10 hits have now gone for extra bases. And since they added him to the roster on July 28th, coming over from the Mets, he leads them with 11 home runs. So Porcello has to be very careful. Tampa Bay now ahead in hits 4-3.
A few times today that he's chased that fastball upstairs, and he's been able to foul him off.
Boy, you got to be careful, man. This ball, thank goodness this ball is up enough.
Yep.
He's trying to launch too now.
Got it right at the top of the bat. Same thing.
Man.
Well, Porcello jumps in front 0-2 on Duda. Longoria next.
There's a fine line in there. I'm telling you.
What do? You continue to climb the ladder with him or show him something down?
I don't know. I might try to throw something higher.
Yeah, see if he chases.
Oh, 2.
Well, I guess he had him if he dotted that down and in, that little slider there, but it's low. Now do you go back upstairs?
I think he will. You know, you start thinking about that high pitch. All of a sudden he drops that slider down there and change that eye level.
1-2.
Yeah, he just can't dot him. He usually has that two-seamer, you know, that he can bring back, and that ball's almost got a cut to it, not like the not like the two-seamer that comes back. It just stays there. He's trying to pull it back.
Ramos at second, no speed there. Kiermaier at first, 1 away. Porcello trying to put away Duda. And he pops him up. Foul off third. Devers racing over Bogarts too, but it's off into the stands. So they'll do it again on 2-2.
Got to give Duda credit. You know, there's been 3 pitches in this sequence that have been upstairs, and he's been able to foul them all off. You're going for that strikeout when he goes up there, and
he can't get to it though. Yeah, he gets to it,
he's
but
not getting to it, but he's getting to it just enough to see another pitch.
Yeah.
It's something this Red Sox staff does about as well as any in baseball.
Upstairs.
Yes, getting that, getting underneath that launch angle.
Yeah,
so to
totally.
speak.
And that's the name of the game nowadays. High cheese. It is.
You see Sale do it so well. Pomerantz is excellent at it.
Even guys that don't have good hair, they do it.
Obviously, Kimbrel.
He's got rising hair.
Rising cheese. 2-2.
Yeah, it is.
Yep.
Put him away with it. And down goes Duda.
He wanted to do that about 3 pitches ago.
Yes.
Was elevate that fastball up high, see if he'd chase it, climb the ladder, and
There
that
it
time
is.
he did.
They still try to lift that thing. They can't. They can't get on top of it. That guy's dangerous. You can see how this guy can run into some bombs.
That'll send up Longoria with 2 down, 2 on. He's 0 for 2. He's grounded out and popped up.
There's a lot of outs now in baseball on high fastballs, because there was a time in this game not too long ago where if you threw the ball above the belt, it was not called a strike.
Right.
And guys were not swinging. They wouldn't even attempted to swing at that pitch.
Yeah, it's like a waste.
It was like from the belt to the knees. That was it. That was the strike zone.
Roller, but foul.
But I'll tell you what, you'll see Vasquez do it all the time. He calls fastballs up that thumb, little, not for a strike, obviously just to show him. But I get it. I mean, I've just never seen anything like it nowadays. Porcello's had some stress pitches this inning.
Started off with a double by Miller. RBI base hit by Ramos. Base hit by Kiermaier. 2-1. Tampa Bay with 4 hits. Sox have only 3 against Cobb, who's been very good. Both pitchers real deliberate today. Red Sox are going for a sweep of the series. One line drive into right field. That's going to bring in Ramos as he churns around to score. Kiermaier down to third base, and Tampa Bay has taken the lead. Longoria going to the opposite field to make it 2-1.
Now Longoria, a nice piece of hitting there, going the other way on the line, and also a very nice play by Mookie Betts in right field to get to that ball and save a run. Is that fastball that's going to be tailing back toward the middle of the plate. and he's able to rifle that ball the other way. That's a pretty looking swing right there by Longoria.
Well, he saw a lot of pitches away that at bat, and he just stayed back, and he got a fastball that he could shoot that way. You saw Kiermaier was flying around second base, luckily held up at third.
Says that, things that go unnoticed, sometimes with outfielders, how they save runs. And Mookie Betts, to me, on that play, I mean, I understand that they got a run to Tampa Bay, but he saved another. Watch him cover the ground and get over it and keep this ball from going around the boards. And he gets it back in. That's going to save that second run from being able to score. That's big at this stage of the game.
Well, he really knows his landscape too.
Yeah, he certainly does, and he covers it very quickly.
I'm telling you, that's huge.
It's big, really big.
Seen that get by a lot of visiting right fielders, and when it gets down that line and it hugs that wall, forget about it.
Yeah, you're talking about 3 bases or maybe an inside the park home run.
Right. The Red Sox are going to get the bullpen active now as Morrison gets ready to hit. Porcello has walked him twice, first and third, and Tampa Bay takes the lead. 4 hits in the inning. First rough inning for Rick Porcello today. And a strike on Morrison. 36 homers, 82 RBIs. Got to be very careful with this guy. To 26 of his home runs on the road. Yankees in Texas are underway. They're in the first inning, and the Yankees have struck for a run, 1-0. Sox up by 4.5 coming into play today.
That is nice and cool in Texas right now.
You're right. 1-1. He gets in front.
Boy, he got a pitch to hit there late.
He's actually had a couple in this at bat. The first pitch and of course this one right here. This one's even better than the first one for hitting. It was down, it was below the belt, and it was right down the middle. See if they try to elevate again.
Kiermaier at third, Longoria at first. Did indeed, but he did not offer. 2-2.
A lot of pitches this inning.
Yep,
got to make one more.
Allowed 2 runs, 4 hits in this inning.
32 pitches. There's that thumb going upstairs again.
Yep, going to try it again. Back to back.
Got a piece. So up and out of the strike zone, but he fouled it away. Fernando Abad throwing in the bullpen. First activity out there today for the Red Sox. Dickerson on deck. Crowd itching for a strikeout here. 2-2. All filled up. So look at Porcello's pitching line, brought to you by Ace Ticket. So he's at 90, 4 2/3, couple of walks.
He can't just fill up the strike zone. He's been careful.
He's already walked Morrison twice. Longoria over there at first base will get the head start. 2 down, the 3-2. And he fouled it off his foot.
Well, he's basically stayed with that fastball this whole at bat against Morrison. Inside, outside, upstairs.
I mean, he's just not going to give in, and just challenge him. That's for sure. We got to make sure he makes a pitch. Meanwhile,
Porcello accepting a sign from Vasquez, and the 3-2 again. Hard hit foul.
Tough at bat put right on here by Morrison.
I mean, never hanging out there with almost 40 pitches in an inning, and really the game on the line right here.
Pretty good battle here. He's really taking his time, quite deliberate. The 3-2 again. Correa takes off and he walks him for the 3rd time. So that's going to load up the bases here for Tampa Bay.
I mean, you never see Porcello walk one guy in a game, let alone 3, the same guy. Stay tuned for Red Sox Final, presented by Plainridge Park Casino. TC Jim Rice and Lenny DiNardo will preview the Oakland A's series and update the American League pennant races.
That'll send up Corey Dickerson. Now Porcello has struck him out twice. But he also has 26 homers. No place to put him. 2 down.
Well, that's the pitch that's been getting him all afternoon. That fastball that's a little bit on the outside part of the plate.
I'm not saying anything. This guy, just keep doing what you do.
Kiermaier at 3rd, Longoria at 2nd, Morrison at 1st for the Rays. Porcello trying to keep it close, and the 0-1. And a high fly ball twisting to left field in the corner. Benintendi, he's at the track and makes the catch. Had to make a last-second adjustment, but he put it away. They leave him loaded, but Tampa Bay takes a 2-1 lead as we toss it to Sarah Robleski at Boston 25.
Tracking Irma throughout the day today. Category 3 hurricane right now with winds of 120 miles per hour. It is heading northward, hugging the western coast of Florida right now. Expected to interact with that land and decrease a bit in strength. However, it is going to be packing a punch. I mean, the entire state right now dealing with heavy rain, the threat of some tornadoes, and very strong winds. Of course, we take a closer look where JetBlue Park is, and in the thick of it right now, Fort Myers reporting a 66-mile-per-hour wind gust. So those winds are going to be strong, as well as the heaviest rain pushing through right now. The center of Irma, the eye, looks as though it's pushing just towards Naples as well as Marco Island. So it has Fort Myers in its path. Of course, taking a look at St. Petersburg as well, where Tropicana Field is. Not as heavy rain right now, but the winds are whipping as well. And we're expected to see, as the storm lifts to the north, the winds turn back. And sure enough, we're going to be dealing with a really high storm surge, about 5 to 10 feet, as this system pushes further to the north. So the strongest winds look like they're going to be happening now through this evening and into tomorrow, with the storm surge coming in as we go through tomorrow.
Okay, Sarah, thank you very much. Appreciate the update. We'll be back with you a little bit later on. We are exactly midway through this one. And the Red Sox trail 2-1 to the Tampa Bay Rays. Red Sox trying to sweep the series. 2 runs, 5 hits, an error for the Rays. 1 run on 3 hits and an error for the Red Sox. Sox have had a difficult time with the right-hander Alex Cobb. His last start, he got the win against Minnesota. Only went 5 2/3 in that one, but now pitching into the 5th inning here this afternoon. He's going to get Travis, Bradley, and Bogarts.
Well, tonight at 6, don't miss the Ultimate Red Sox Show presented by TBA. We have a recap of Pete Frady's day, plays of the week, and much more. That's tonight at 6, only on NESN.
Travis to lead it off. Doubled up in the 2nd inning on that fly ball to right field. We certainly thought Vasquez scored on the play. Apparently the replay review center could not determine if Vasquez's foot was on the plate before the tag was applied by Ramos. Certainly looked like a run had scored, however, and that's in there for a strike. So Tampa Bay in the lead. Sam hitting right at 300 at the big league level. Look at that first home run as he faces Alex Cobb. To the shortstop. A little bobble there. The throw going to be close, and he's safe. The bobble costing Echeverria, the shortstop, who's usually very reliable.
They might take a look at this right now. They're in the dugout deciding whether they are going to look at it at first base. There's the ball just bouncing out of the webbing of the glove, and Echeverria with still a fine play going to first base. It was very close, and they are going to look at this play.
They should.
Honestly, I thought he was out, you know, in real time.
I'll tell you what, luckily for them, the ball was hit hard enough that he can go, and because he's got a good arm. I thought right away, I thought he was safe. I mean, out when I first looked at it.
Yeah, generally when you see a shortstop bobble the ball, you know, going up the middle or to his right, the runner at first base is going to be safe. A second baseman has the luxury of being able to chase the ball down and get outs at first base because the throw's not that long.
So we'll wait. The last time we saw a review in this one, it was about 2.5 minutes.
Well, Travis has been involved in a couple of reviews today now.
What do you think, Jerry?
Well, I'm not doing too well over the last couple of days, but I think he's out.
I think he's out too. I say out.
Yeah, I would concur.
Yeah, he is out.
He is out.
So Echeverria with a good recovery to get Travis. One man away here in the Red Sox fifth for Jackie Bradley. Yankees carrying a 1-0 lead into the second inning against Texas in Arlington. Bradley with a base hit first time up. First career hit against Cobb, against whom he is now 1 for 13. In there for a strike.
That's a good changeup.
Boy, not many though, huh, Gak?
No. No more than 5 to this point.
Boy, it's an upset because they teach all of their pitchers in the minor leagues, if they don't already have a changeup.
Another one.
To throw one.
It's a good one.
Doubled up on him. That would drive me crazy. You know, you see one and say, okay, there's this changeup for this at bat. Now it goes and doubles up on you.
So as of that one, now 6 of them today.
Pretty good guess, huh? But
yeah, you were on it.
5 to 6. I'm brilliant.
I don't know how you do it.
I don't even know how I do that.
Really don't know how you do it.
I don't know.
1-2. Down he goes. Strike 3. Came back with a breaking ball.
A steady diet of soft stuff right there. Back-to-back changes, then to the curveball to Jackie Bradley. He was not going to give him a fastball to hit. He picked up a base hit on a fastball back in the 3rd inning. But not this time.
Think Energy, powering Fenway, and the smart choice to power your home. Visit thinkenergy.com to enroll today. Tampa Bay in the lead here, 2-1, 5th inning. Xander Bogaerts, the leadoff man today, has struck out and grounded to third. Xander with 4 career home runs against the Rays, none this season. He had the game-winning triple in the 4th inning on Wednesday. He knocked that one down the right field line, the 1-1. Tried to pull it. 1-2.
We saw some power from Bogaerts in Houston. Wasn't it Houston where he hit a couple of bombs?
Yep.
It was like, oh my goodness, here he comes with his power, because last year he got 21 home runs and everybody was always concerned about his power. And this year we're just not concerned about power, just concerned about, you know, consistent approach at the plate.
1-2. Just got a piece of that to hang in. Baltimore is at Cleveland tonight as the Sunday night baseball game. 1-2 and hammered to third, scooped up by Longoria. That's a quiet fifth inning. Red Sox go 1-2-3, trailing 2-1. Sox World Championship season, game number 143. Red Sox would fall to Baltimore. Daisuke, suffering the loss, gave up 8 runs in less than 3 innings. Big Papi with 3 hits, including his 28th home run. Back at Fenway, new pitcher Brandon Workman now makes his home in Austin, Texas, taking over for Rick Porcello. So Porcello, with that pitch count piling up last inning, winds up going 5 innings today, and Tampa Bay with a 2-1 lead.
Now that last inning probably cost him 2 innings. He had to work so hard in it.
I think this is the right move. It definitely is. I mean, Porcello probably doesn't like it.
I thought he had good stuff today. I really do.
To center field, hit well. Bradley racing into the triangle, now putting on the brake. Oh, makes the catch. Little basket play in front of him.
Little Willie Mays piece.
Echeverria denied as Jackie makes the play for out number 1.
Yeah, he wasn't styling. He would just overran it.
Exactly. We have a great vantage point. You see the jump that he gets on the ball right there. Turns his back to the baseball, runs to a spot where he thinks it's going to be, then spins around and then realizes, uh-oh, wait a minute, I've got to make the basket catch because I've gone back about 2 steps too far.
So 1 gone for Brad Miller, who doubled and scored last time up. He's got 1 for 2.
I mean, Echeverria hit that ball hard. I didn't expect that out of him.
And the 0-1 to Miller just seems to really pick on the Red Sox incessantly.
This guy hit 30 home runs last year out of nowhere, kind of. Sure not going to hit 30 this year, obviously. He's been hurt. But he used to play shortstop for Seattle, right? And you didn't really hear much of him.
And a 1-2 to Miller. At it again. Line shot, but Jackie got a good break. Makes the catch. 2 up and 2 down. Let's go to Garrett.
Thanks, OB. As we saw in Sarah's weather report, Hurricane Irma is really taking its toll on Fort Myers. Sandy Leon's family is in Fort Myers. He and his wife just bought a home there. His parents are visiting from Venezuela. His wife's parents are visiting from Venezuela. And guys, Leon's wife is 8 months pregnant and she was not able to fly out, so she had to stay there. And he told me that it is really hard not being there. He was planning on flying after tonight's game and spending the off day with his family. He's not able to do that now. They are in constant communication, but guys, he said it's really hard.
Can only imagine, especially with an 8-month pregnancy. Is a high deep drive to center field. This one way back onto the batter's eye and gone as Ramos launches that one, his second RBI, to make it 3-1.
I told you, this guy, he scares you. He's got big power. We've seen that before from him down in Tampa. He took sail deep, and now we're seeing the power once again.
Straightaway center field for Ramos, number 7 on the season. Cross seam fastball, middle of the plate. And that's a lot of upper body strength right there from Ramos to go to straightaway center field. There wasn't a lot of lower half in that swing. There was a lot of upper body swinging, and finds its way over that green wall for the home run.
I'll tell you what, that guy may be behind the plate, not a great arm, but next year is going to be a different year for that guy. After being hurt half a season, look out for him.
Somebody's going to want him very seriously. Always been a fine hitter. Smith grounding to Holt to retire the side, but another run up there on the Ramos blast to center. 3-1 Tampa Bay.
Academy. David Pastrnak, Torrey Krug, and Tuukka Rask give you the inside look on their trip to China. Get fitness tips from Brad Marchand, and plus see all the sights across New England from the Bruins Fan Fest Tour. Catch it all on Bruins Academy tonight at 7:30 on NESN.
Bottom of the 6th inning underway. 3-1 Tampa Bay. Benintendi bets Moreland, trying to change that against the very hard to hit Alex Cobb, who's allowed only 3 hits. Saw several of the Bruins here at Fenway today working on behalf of hurricane relief. That's going to drop down for a base hit. Good start for the Sox here in the 6th inning. The single by Benintendi.
Yeah, change up that time. That was down. Pretty good pitch, but so very good hitting right there from Benintendi. He had struck out twice in this game, but watch out. It goes down. That ball's almost in the dirt.
Please.
He's down on one knee and puts it on a line in the center field. Well, that's pretty special right there. That's a good pitch and a little better hitting.
Cobb's pitching line brought to you by Lexus, inviting you to see, hear, feel, and experience amazing.
And you can't throw a better changeup where you throw it in the dirt.
Yep.
Red Sox tried to be aggressive early. Brock Holt stole the base back in the second inning. You'd think would look to try and run and apply some pressure here on the Rays. Red Sox have now stolen exactly 100 bases this year. Mookie with 19 homers, 81 RBIs, and he'll look at a ball. Moreland on deck. Betts has hit 3 home runs against Tampa Bay this year. 11 in his career against them.
Like Cobb wanted that fastball on the corner there.
2-0. Rays in the lead 3-1 in the 6th.
2-0 curveball.
Runner holds.
No.
Came back with a fastball.
2 must be a fastball in. Hello.
They might have changed their signs here midway through the ball game with a man on base. Changing the signs. You know, a lot of times if you're at first base and you're a base stealer, you can look in, you can peek in to see the signs. From a catcher, you see something off speed, you want to go. Maybe that's one of the reasons they switched up.
You never used to see fastballs into Mookie, right? Hitters count.
Well, next home run by Mookie Betts. He'd become the first Red Sox player ever with 20 or more homers, 20 or more stolen bases in consecutive seasons. He has stolen 24 bases so far. Flares that one foul.
Well, he got right there. He's trying to get that ball in. It looked like it had a lot of the plate, like center cut.
And that front shoulder for Mookie just leaking a little bit that time coming off that pitch, and that's why he fouled it off to the opposite direction. That's a good pitch to hit right there. That's right down the middle.
You know, sometimes you wonder, just seeing that fastball in the previous pitch makes you pull off a little bit. Who knows?
Here comes the 90th pitch today for Alex Cobb. Go to first. Texas has come back to tie the Yankees 1-1. They're in the second inning.
I think the Red Sox at first base are complaining a little bit about the move to first base by Cobb. And, you know, you have to make a step toward first base. That's in the rules.
That's a jump move he's got.
Yeah, it's like a spin move.
Yeah.
And a spin move is a balk.
Benintendi not running. Pop foul out of play.
You know, one of the ways pitchers used to be able to pick you off at first base, and it was obviously illegal. It's a balk move. But what they would do is when they would get into their stretch position, a lot of guys would bend their knee just a little bit to make you think, because that's one of the trigger points for base runners, make you think that they're going. There's a bend right there. You see it right there. And that's to make you think that they're going to the plate, and then they come to first base. That's really a balk.
Hey, you break down your front knee.
Because I'm focusing on that front knee right there. Go. Take a couple of. Oh, that's. I mean, that's pretty odd. That's exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what they were.
He never steps to first. It's just a little jab step.
Right. You can't flex that front knee and then go to first base. That should be called a balk. That's a great look right there. You can read the pitch and see if you can get a jump at home.
Be careful of the furniture. As he dives back in safely. Moreland on deck. A lot of throws to first today by Cobb, trying to control the running attack of the Red Sox.
Exactly what it is. They call it a balk move. That you practice that.
Yep.
Break down your front knee.
Go.
He's holding. And that is ball 3. So full count on Mookie Betts.
Used to start as a base stealer, from the head down, and you start with the front shoulder to see if that would open up or close, and you start working your way down toward the bottom part, the knee, even the heel, to see if the heel would come up. All kind of trigger points.
And then how are you going to peek in to get a sign at home? I mean, you got enough to worry about.
You got to time that perfectly.
There goes Benintendi, and that's going to be ball 4. So the Sox have something brewing, down a couple of runs, but first and second, nobody out for Moreland. Fans want to be part of Franklin family? Well, enter for a chance to win custom batting gloves for your entire baseball or softball team, courtesy of Franklin Sports. Visit franklinsports.com/Nesson to enter. So Cash is going to go to his bullpen. That is it for Cobb after a base hit and a walk here in the 6th inning. Cash trying to avoid a 3-game sweep here at Fenway Park. He'll bring on Jennings. We'll take the break and be back with more in just a moment. Job is done. It gives way to the left-hander Jennings, who's making his 69th appearance. Tied for 2nd in the American League, 3rd in the majors, and number 1 among left-handers. So they use him a ton. Brought in to take on Moreland, who has walked and scored and grounded out to 2nd. 2 men on, and a threat for the Red Sox, and that's strike 1. Not many threats for the Sox today. They've been held to 4 hits. There's something going on here in the 6th inning. And the 0-1 to the shortstop. Echeverria will take it to the bag for an out there, on to first for the double play. Down to third moves Benintendi, but with 2 gone.
Well, the more I see of Echeverria at shortstop, the more I like, and I have not seen a lot of them previous to this series. You know, that's one he normally would flip to the second baseman, but he decided to take it himself and had plenty of time. Very strong throwing arm to first base.
Well, they're raving about him in Florida, in Miami. We were down there a couple of years ago, and that's all I heard about. This guy can pick it. It's amazing that the Rays got him and that the Marlins got rid of him, if you think about it.
Well, it wouldn't be the first time the Marlins made a bad deal. And now
kind of under the radar, really.
Yeah, I would agree.
They just got rid of Beckham, sent him to the Orioles, a guy that never really produced up until this year.
As soon as he got out of Miami. Or out of Baltimore.
Well, to Baltimore.
Yeah, to Baltimore. And outside for a ball here on Devers, who has gone 0 for 2. Runner at third base and 2 gone. A 3-1 lead here for Tampa Bay. Red Sox trying to get something out of the inning. Flared foul. Up into the Coca-Cola section.
This guy's kind of comes at you there quick.
Yeah, everything's quick delivery. Kind of jumps at you.
Yeah. Real quick leg kick, boom.
One to Devers.
Yeah, it's not all about, velocity. Sometimes a lot of it has to do with deception. There's no doubt about it. Everybody can bring it.
And a bounding ball to Miller, and that inning dies very quickly. Had a lot of promise at the outset, but nothing doing for the Red Sox in the 6th. Run on Dunkin', because Dunkin's iced coffee is consistently smooth and delicious. Dunkin' Donuts coffee, #1 in New England. The Boston Red Sox run on Dunkin'. Moving to the 7th inning, low scoring game here. Tampa Bay with a 3-1 lead. Very pretty day at the ballpark. Hope that is true wherever you are watching this afternoon. Red Sox looking for a rally, starting to move into the later innings. And Kiermaier about to lead things off against Robbie Scott, who takes over on the hill.
Yeah, the Red Sox have had their way in this series run-wise and hit-wise, but today only 4 hits in the ballgame for them. I'll tell you what was a big play, that play at the plate that went against the Red Sox early in the game.
Because you don't know what happens after that to begin with, let alone 1 run.
Right.
It looked painfully obvious to us on the replay. Apparently not in New York.
Man, I would have put the ranch on that. Really.
We did.
I mean, we thought we were. I mean,
we did.
We really did.
We're out the months.
We had all the chips out there.
Yeah. Kiermaier 1 for 3 with a single. And the ball outside. Back to that play in the second.
The only thing you can't tell is it was the foot above the plate. And that's hard to tell from any angle. But to me, I got to believe it crossed the plate.
You know, but there was a mark where he drew some dirt from the back of his spike on the edge of the plate if you go back and look at it. So to me that indicates his foot was on the plate.
So it scraped the plate.
Scraped the plate. I thought it did.
Yeah, I thought that was a no-doubter.
Yeah, that's all they can go on.
Take a look. Look at the edge of the plate here as he comes in.
He's got it right there.
Yeah,
and you see there's,
and he's behind it.
Yeah.
The glove is behind home plate.
Are we nuts? Are we just not seeing something
But
there?
they can always drop inconclusive. They always can drop that.
We are nuts, but I think we're all right on that one.
We're a bunch of homers.
Well
is
put.
what we
Well,
are.
I mean,
you know, I mean, it is what it is. You call it as you see it, and the way I saw that, and we looked at that.
Yeah, it's like
10 times.
Twice about it.
but look, if he's out, Jerry, you're going to say he's out. Eck, you're going to say he's out.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay?
Yeah.
If they made that play and didn't look like they did.
Well, they thought he was safe. Everybody went back on the field, and
That's right.
Cobb was
Tampa
throwing.
Bay did. Yeah, swing and a miss. Down goes Kiermaier. Well, still time to do something about it as he strikes out.
Drops down to the side with that fastball, keeps it away from Kiermaier, picks up the strikeout. Second time Kiermaier struck out today. Porcello got him on a fastball back in the 3rd inning. Now a fastball here in the 7th.
The Design It Yourself sofa, hundreds of fabrics and style options to choose from, starting at just $7.99 right now. Get up to 60 months, no interest with equal payments. Minimum purchase required. Your style, your look, only at Jordan's Furniture. Lucas Duda 1 for 3 with a double. All of that was against Rick Porcello, who went the first 5. Right now, Rick's going to lose the ball game unless the Red Sox can rally. He allowed 5 hits and a couple of runs. And if he does take the loss, he would drop to 9-17. But had some pretty good stuff actually today.
That's a good pitch right there. That was I think it's because of the way Vasquez caught that. He didn't get the strike call, but that had plenty of the plate.
Yeah, backhand, opposite location is what it is. Outside, huh?
You'd have to be sitting there to catch that thing.
I think Honora's had a good game behind the plate too.
And a 1-1 to the former Met.
Oh,
deep drive to center. Bradley back and turning, and that ball is out of here.
This guy. Whew.
That'll make it 4-1 Tampa Bay, and they hit their 2nd home run in as many innings. Duda with number 12.
Duda's got as much power as anybody in this game.
That's 12 home runs since coming over to the Rays, and doing it against the left-hander that time. Once again, he drops down to the side with the fastball, but that one stays kind of middle of the plate and Duda to straightaway center field.
This guy, leg kick and launch, and I mean, my goodness. Where he was with the Mets, they talked about when he got hot, he can leave, and we're seeing a taste of it right there.
It gets Robbie Scott for his solo shot here, so John Farrell will make another change. It's going to be Reed coming in to take on Longoria. That'll make it a little tougher now. 4-1 Tampa Bay in the 7th. That's transparency. Tampa Bay with a couple of blasts here in the last 2 innings have opened up a 4-1 lead. John Farrell will bring on Addison Reed here. And he will take on Longoria. Meanwhile, the Yankees now have a 3-1 lead in their game against Texas in the 3rd inning. Bogarts to his left behind the bag will get him. Set down Evan Longoria, who's now 1 for 4.
Well, that's the Tampa Bay Rays. They go deep. You know, over 200 home runs. They don't care if they strike out.
Yeah, once again, too, another good game for Cobb today. Who is, Eck, you highlighted it earlier. He's had a terrific stretch of about 13 games now. And he pitched very, very, very well against the Red Sox today.
Logan Morrison has drawn ball 4 3 times.
And I'll tell you that Porcello goes back into this game. I tell you what, this guy, he walked him 3 times. I mean, he may not have 3 walks in 3 games. I mean, this guy made him work. He tried to make, pitch after pitch to this guy. Quick pitch, right? Huh? Boom.
Yep.
I never did that before.
Morrison
quick pitch.
Wasn't thrilled with it.
No, guys don't like that at all.
Joe Kelly does that a lot.
Yeah, remember when Pedroia said, "Hey, somebody's going to hurt. You're going to hurt somebody." I think it was Stroman did it to him.
Yeah. Quickly 2 strikes into the dirt.
I mean, you do what you do what you can do. It's not against the law. I just don't really dig it. I don't know. See, I mean, you can do it. There's nobody on base. You don't have to stop.
Not against the law, unlike bunting against Sabathia.
Exactly. That's
swing and a miss, and he puts him away. And does it fast. However, another run on the board. 4-1 Tampa Bay, middle of the 7th. The 2016-17 season, but are hoping to put themselves in the title race in the coming campaign. X says they will. Catch Nesson's encore presentation of Liverpool and Manchester City tomorrow night at 7 on NESN. Bottom of the 7th coming up. Cishek out of their bullpen. And with that funky delivery, he can be very hard to hit. A 2.43 ERA.
I tell you what, he's had been passed around here. He got hurt a little bit. He used to close games with Miami, and then he had a bad spell. They got rid of him. Went to Seattle, hurt his arm a little bit, got knocked around, but he's found it again.
Yeah, drops down to the side, and very hard to pick up the baseball against him. He's got 171 batting average against.
Yeah, he can be tough to see. Borges taking over in right field for Malik Smith. So the changes for the Rays, who are on top here 4-1. Jerry Remy, Dennis Eckersley, Dave O'Brien, Garen Austin. Rem Dog will be continuing treatment this coming week. So we'll say goodbye for a little while and then see you soon enough. But good luck this coming week again.
Yeah, thanks. You know, I go in Tuesday and second round of treatment, and I got to tell you guys, this has been a blast this weekend. I'm so happy to be able to come in and join you guys for these games. It's been a tremendous amount of fun. It gets me out of the house. I was feeling good.
It's a nice distraction.
Yeah, you know, I'm back doing what I enjoy doing. So I'm hopeful that I'll be back. Matter of fact, I'm almost positive I'll be back for that last week of the season. We can take them home.
Yes, you got it. Clinch time.
It's been a great treat having you. I know all the fans feel the same way, and you make it seem so easy. It's just not this easy to be able to drop back in the booth after several months away and do this like you do it.
Yeah, it's great to have you, Jerry. It really is.
Thanks, guys.
Vasquez taking a strike. He's had a good day. 2 for 2. A couple of singles and an RBI. Now he's 3 for 4 lifetime against this right-hander.
This can't be easy facing this right-hander at all. Crossfire underneath.
Yeah, you're also dealing with some shadows right now too, between the pitcher's mound and home plate.
He's got a frisbee in there too, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. With that breaking ball. Fly ball to right field up into the sun, and Borges there. One man away. Time now for a look at the road ahead, presented by People's United Bank. That road is uncertain for the Red Sox because, yeah, you've got the Oakland A's coming in after the off day on Monday, but no one's really sure about that Tampa Bay series, exactly where that's going to be played.
Could be New York, right? Could.
A lot of places I think it could be, you know, and then Red Sox go to Baltimore and an off day, and then Cincinnati. That's a little bit of an oddity there. 3 games against a National League opponent right before that final week here at Fenway, and 4 games with Houston.
Saw some pitchers taking batting practice. Rodriguez was swinging the bat with Pfister. They must know who lines up for those starts. Don't want to get anybody hurt swinging the bat. That's what I say. This late in the season? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that would be a dreadful thought. In there for a called strike on Brock, who has walked, stolen the base, and grounded to second.
Dickerson very, very shallow out in left field against Brock Holt.
That's Manny out there.
Yeah,
huh?
well, you know, actually, you know, Manny started there, and then he kept creeping in.
That is so shallow.
Oh man, it's like you look out there, it's like you can't get a hit. And the only way I can get a hit, if I go the other way, I got to hit it over his head. He's going to take a line drive away from me.
I mean, you never see anybody that shallow.
And a fly ball down that line. That one sailing up into the stands. They took a crack at it.
That guy lived my career seeing guys play that shallow out there.
That's where you hit everything, right? That was your swing.
That was it. It was it. And Fenway, for me, was not ideal because you know, I didn't have the pop to put it off that wall.
Right.
So they just play me in over there and take line drives away.
You must have went crazy when they catch him.
Shortstop Echeverria will hoover that up.
You never got mad, Jerry, when you made an out, did you? you could snap with the best of them. I don't know whether you or Rooster were worse. What? Huh?
Yeah, we kind of fed off each other.
Oh, he was bad. I'd stay clear of him.
Yeah. I had to play, I had to play second base with him playing shortstop, and it was like, my goodness,
Man, I first came over there. You guys were yelling at me. Remember when I first came? Come on. I don't know what you were telling me, because you had never played with me before. So when I came over here, I was like, the new guy.
Yeah, well, I wasn't crazy about you when you came.
Right. You didn't even like me, and I'm trying to make friends, and you guys are like saying, let's go.
What didn't you like about Eck?
He threw a no-hitter against me when I was with the Angels.
But I never pointed at you, did I?
Yeah, you did.
Did I?
Yeah, you appointed guys to get in the box. You were on so much that night that you couldn't wait for the next hitter to get in there.
Yeah,
and you're standing on deck and you're watching you point to get in there, and you're saying, I want to get a hit so bad.
Does sound like you.
There's a lot of guys that didn't like me, but guess what? That's then. This is now.
But I'll tell you what I did like. I did like at the end of the spring of '78. I came over in the winter of '78, and then you came walking into camp right toward the end of camp in '78. I said, now we got something special here, and I'm surrounded by all these Hall of Fame players.
Base hit to right by Travis. A 2-out single that'll bring up Jackie Bradley. And how many games you win that year?
Only 99.
Yeah. We won 99. I tell you what, I got runs galore. I was like the Porcello year. I got so many runs to work with. I don't know how many times I went out there, give up 2 in the first, walk back out, it's 4-2. I'm winning.
Yeah.
I mean, that says everything about a club.
Yeah, we were tough here in this ballpark. We had a bad second half. We had a lot of guys banged up, and the Yankees had an out of sight second half.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Of course, they caught us and went to the last week of the season. We had to win every game. We did win every game. The Yankees finally lost on a Sunday afternoon and bring the playoff game here on a Monday.
You won 8 in a row.
Yeah.
To end that season,
Yeah.
regular season, before that playoff game.
But that's as nervous as I've ever been, and I didn't even have to play.
Yeah.
Jackie 1 for 2 with a base hit.
That's incredible. They're coming from you, because all the big games that you played in and pitched in and closed, to say that's as nervous as you've ever been.
Absolutely. At that point in my life, kidding me?
Yeah.
That was everything was happening right there, and I was like, thank God I don't have to pitch.
Yeah. It was a real feeling playing in that game. It was not normal at all. You never got, or at least I didn't get calmed down to a point where I felt like it was a normal game. It was also very special. It was the only game going on. And in those days it was a big deal to be on national TV.
Yeah.
And it was like, wow.
Well, that feeling that you're both talking about was shared by every Red Sox fan in New England that day. Everybody who got up that morning felt the exact same way, that anxiety.
Yeah.
And they were setting up the platforms in the 7th inning in the clubhouse, and I was like, yay, we're going to win. It's 2-0. And I was all psyched up. Yeah. Next thing you know, 3-run bomb by Bucky Dent, and they're tearing this stuff down. Don't go, I said.
Jackie lays off a high one, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
It's funny, people talk about Dent in that game, and that didn't really bother me. I mean, we fell behind 3-2. Excuse me, but we had the kind of offense that I figured we'd come back. And I think the one that really hurt us was the home run by Reggie Jackson to center field. Made it 5-2.
Steamer, yeah.
And I think that really hurt us. And then we fell run short. But I'll never get that feeling of sitting in the clubhouse after the game. And, you're so fired up. You got your bags packed to go to Kansas City. And all of a sudden you're sitting there and the season is over.
Yeah.
And you won 99 games and you're going home
Seems
with
very
your
unfair.
suitcase.
Very unfair, right?
Oh, it's amazing.
But, Jerry, I thought at that time I was so young. We'll get him next year. I really did.
I thought we'd win 4 in a row.
Yes, that's how good we were.
Swung on and missed. Down goes Jackie Bradley. The throw on to first to complete the strikeout. And one man is left at the end of 7. 4-1, Tampa Bay. Brought to you by Toyota's website for deals, buyatoyota.com. Franklin Sports, the official batting glove of Major League Baseball. The all-new Amstel X Light. Grab the 90 cal 2-carb, great-tasting light beer. Southwest, yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. And by Ford Trucks, built Ford Tough, the official truck of the Boston Red Sox. Moving to the 8th, 4 runs, 7 hits, an error for Tampa Bay. 1 run, just 5 hits, and 1 error for the Sox. Attempting to sweep this Rays team, but Fernando Abad coming on, just trying to keep it right where it is. And he'll get Dickerson, Echeverria, and Miller in this inning. He becomes the 4th Red Sox reliever. Rick Porcello did not go deep in the game, only 5 innings. And a wave and a miss by Dickerson, who has struck out twice already today.
I can't help but say with Abad, it's been a while now, and it's just a given how he's pitched well this year. But, coming out of spring training, he had a hard time making this club. They weren't sure he was going to make this club, and he's done a nice job.
A 2.72 ERA coming in. Tends to be a strike thrower. That one too high, 1-1. Again, no baseball tomorrow. Red Sox will have the day off. Back at it Tuesday against Oakland here at Fenway at 7:10. Eduardo Rodriguez. Doug Fister going Wednesday. Drew Pomerantz on Thursday afternoon.
Boy, Erod's due for a W, huh? I mean, pitched good last time out. That's how it goes sometimes. You can't catch a break at all. Pitch good, no decision.
Eduardo last time against Toronto, 6 strong innings, 8 strikeouts, only 6 hits, 2 runs, and would have no decision. Yankees have opened up a 5-1 lead on Texas there in the 4th inning. We'll have an update from Sarah Robleski. Boston 25 on the storm in Florida. More details on what's going on with the hurricane. The 2-2. Red Sox have won 17 games this season in which they trailed after 5 innings. Tied with the Yankees for the most in the majors. And they've won 4, trailing after 8 innings, all since the All-Star break. Two. Liner and caught by Holt. Right on the edge of the outfield grass, went away. Now let's go to Sarah. Boston 25 for an update on the hurricane.
Category 3 Hurricane Irma really just bringing heavy rain to the region right now, as well as we've got just the amount of rain and the risk of tornadoes out there pushing northward as we go through time here. I want to point out it will be weakening as it pushes through the Tampa area later on tonight, overnight, but it is still right now a major hurricane that the eye has just pushed through Marco Island, and sure enough in Fort Myers, right near JetBlue Park, we've got winds over 60 miles an hour.
All right, Sarah, thank you very, very much for those updates throughout the ball game today. We know a lot of fans are concerned. Obviously, they have a lot of friends there, family in some instances, as the hurricane passes through Florida, and all of our thoughts and our prayers are with everyone there. And this Tampa Bay club and their manager Kevin Cash, they have admitted that it's been very difficult to focus on baseball with everything that's unfolding in their home state. Echeverria has gone 0 for 3. He has hit into a double play, grounded a short fly to center. 4-1 Tampa Bay. And how slow is that? 55 miles an hour to get him. How about that eephus pitch?
There's nothing like it. There is nothing. Nobody has that.
No.
Nobody.
The first time he did that, I said the ball had to slip or something. And then you see it over and over again, and you go, my goodness, how in the world? It's like slow pitch softball.
How do you do that? I mean, that is hard to do.
He throws it for a strike.
I know.
And I don't know how you hit it.
Because he doesn't choke it either.
No.
It's just, how do you slow your arm speed down like that?
Said he almost makes his hand into a little basket and pushes it.
Yeah.
55 miles an hour. Look at that delivery.
Let's see if he slows down at all. Right? There's a slow motion, but hello. Yeah, he just like tosses it.
Yeah,
he just tosses
it's like right at the end you can see him slow down, but as a hitter that's too late.
Yeah,
you know, you can't pick it up in time.
I think that is a trip. It really is.
Miller lunges after that one and a base hit into center field. He's just very, very tough on the Red Sox, isn't he? His second hit today. He's hitting about 370 against the Sox this year.
If he played against the Red Sox every day, he'd be the MVP of the league.
Yeah. Also had a double back in the 5th inning, and here comes John Farrell. He's got Matt Barnes ready to face Ramos. He's done some damage today with a couple of RBIs. So that'll do it for Fernando. And we'll take the break as well with 2 down here in the top of the 8th. Tampa Bay on top 4-1. We'll have more in a moment. City Electric poll question. Who do you think will finish with the best record in the American League? Do you think it'll be Houston or the Indians, who have won 17 consecutive games? And you think Cleveland will do it 73%. So the Indians continue to rock and roll, perhaps on their way to the best record in the American League, and therefore home field advantage.
Well, the Red Sox will have something to say about that, right?
Yeah.
The last 4 games are against Houston right here at Fenway.
Yes. And maybe more after that with the Astros. We shall see. Barnes out of the pen, 63rd appearance. Matt just recently back off the disabled list.
Could be a 9-game series against the Astros, right? Think about it.
They get to know them very well.
Yes.
Red Sox did take 2 out of 3 from them in Houston earlier this season. Here's Ramos. RBI single and a home run, and he's at it again. Knocks that one into center field. Miller will stop at second. So going after the very first pitch, and last 3 at bats he has 3 hits.
Yeah, base hit to drive in a run, a home run obviously, and now this base hit on a curveball for Matt Barnes. I mean, not a bad pitch at all. He just serves it right into center field for the base hit.
We already seen him serve it before. That first hit he dorked off of Porcello, and once again, what is that, little breaking ball inside? Fights it off, doesn't hit it that hard.
Carl Willis out, with Borges about to bat for the first time. Hitting from Alex Smith. He had already gone in the game in right field, and Joe Kelly starts to loosen.
This to me is obviously just letting Kelly have time, period.
Been a long afternoon here at Fenway, but not a whole lot of offense, and the Red Sox in particular have suffered in that regard with only 5 hits and 1 run. Though the Red Sox did score the first run of the ball game back in the 2nd inning. Nothing since then. Borges, a .225 hitter with 5 homers, and still runs very well. So another threat for Tampa Bay here in the 8th inning. 2 on, 2 out. Kevin Kiermaier on deck. Should it get that far? Barnes, the 5th Red Sox reliever. Quickly 0-2. Off-speed pitch.
See him use that slider a lot more. It used to be just fastball, overhand curveball, but he's gone to that slider a little bit here and there.
That was a good one right there.
Yeah.
Down and away.
Red Sox will have the top of the order due up when we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Bogarts, Benintendi, and Betts.
If you're in the infield right now, any ground ball, you got to be diving for everything, trying to knock it down, trying to keep that man from scoring from second base.
Bounced it and stopped by Vasquez. Runners hold. Now the Yankees are starting to pull away from Texas still early in that game, but they're on top 7-1 in the 4th. So the Red Sox in danger of losing a game in the standings today unless they can rally. And a 1-2 to Borges. And he got him. Blew him away at 95. 2 men will be stranded. Red Sox need some offense, down by 3.
First 12,000 fans in attendance will receive a Bogarts Gnome presented by Toyo Tires. For tickets and more information, visit redsox.com/promos.
Xander about to lead off here as we take it to the bottom half of the 8th inning. 4 runs on 9 hits for the Rays. 1 run, just 5 hits for Boston. Tommy Hunter out of their bullpen. He's had a fine year. 53 appearances, .247 ERA, and 55 strikeouts in 51 innings.
Once again, they put this bullpen together. You see Hunter, he's been around the block everywhere, really, since Baltimore.
Well, they always seem to have a fine bullpen most years. Xander looking for his first hit. He has gone 0 for 3. He has struck out. He's also grounded out to third twice. Batting out a leadoff spot here today. Not many hits for the Sox yet. After a couple explosive days against Tampa Bay.
I've always liked Hunter, you know, and no matter where he's been. I mean, 97 with that fastball to start off against Bogarts.
Big burly right-hander. Routine fly ball. Kiermaier there. And we'll have that for out number 1.
When you think about it, Texas Rangers had Hunter. They sent Hunter and Chris Davis to Baltimore for Uehara.
Right.
Imagine that.
Yep.
And see what happens. You know, Chris Davis just went off. They realized how good Uehara was. Because you don't even think of him pitching in Texas, do you, Uehara?
Hardly remember it.
Yeah, you don't even remember it. Right.
He will be forever remembered here in Boston.
What a year he had.
Oh. Unbelievable. In the clutch. Benintendi 1 for 3 with a single. Now hitting .275. And a bounding ball to first base, and Duda handles that. 2 up, 2 down. Mookie Betts will be next.
Boy, this Red Sox offense really has been quiet all day long, but in particular over the last 5 innings.
We'll stay right here after the 3rd out of this inning for a behind-the-scenes look at what happens in between innings.
Not a lot of hard hit balls today.
Only 5 total hits for the Sox. Mookie's 0 for 2 with a walk. Well, the Yankees sailing now 9-1 on Texas, 4th inning. And we'll see tonight if the Cleveland Indians taking on Baltimore in Cleveland can make it 18 consecutive wins. Terry Francona has them playing unbelievable, out of their minds baseball.
Best team I ever had won 14 in a row.
14.
Yeah, early in the season, and then we just were good all year. It's amazing how that stretch can really make you believe in one another.
Just missed, and he did not offer. Closer look at that winning streak.
7 runs a game.
Wow.
Look at the starters ERA and the relievers ERA.
Yeah.
They're scoring and they're not giving up anything.
Other than that, they've been real lucky.
That's no Andrew Miller, really, right? I think he hasn't been there.
Kluber has really surged. Here's the 2-2. Spoil that one.
I saw Clevenger pitch good. Was it yesterday? I mean, everybody's doing their thing. Their number 2 guy is Carrasco. Wouldn't you say, right? Number 2 starter?
I would.
Who is their number 3 is what I want to know. I mean, because Salazar is long gone. That's who used to be number 3.
Bauer?
I guess. Because you wouldn't say Clevenger, right? Or Tomlin. Tomlin just came back.
I'd say Bauer.
Yeah.
He's got, what, 15 wins?
Oh, yeah, he does. But you don't think of him as being one of the big horses, do you?
No.
Yeah, you wonder, you know, when the playoffs start, you know, is Tito gonna manage like he did last year? Is he, you know, I mean, last year it was like if I get 4 out of the starting rotation, I'm happy, with the exception of
popped into right field. Borges there, moving in toward the line, and that will retire the side. Another quiet inning for the Red Sox. They go 1, 2, 3. Don't go anywhere. We stay in the park. coming your way. And here's our game summary brought to you by Xfinity. Cobb pitched well, but only 5 innings, and he can pick up the win. Duda with a home run. Ramos has had a very good day. Porcello went just 5. Right now he would take the loss. Vasquez 2 for 3 with an RBI. Red Sox so far unable to get anything going offensively. Kimbrel in need of some work. Coming on to pitch here in the 9th inning. He threw in the 9th inning in Tuesday night's win against Toronto. And he struck out 3 men. The 11th time this season he struck out 3 batters in a single inning.
It almost looks like a misprint. You see the 12 walks and 109 strikeouts over 50 innings. We've watched it.
Kiermaier's gone 1 for 4 with a base hit.
How did you react to like these situations, Zach? I mean, I know right now, they got an off day tomorrow. Kimbrel hasn't worked in the series, but you're coming in with a deficit of 4-1. I mean, used to coming in, with the lead.
Yeah, these weren't easy times, but I would always have adrenaline. And I'm not a guy that was throwing 100 miles an hour either, so it was okay. I mean, it didn't change things as much as I think a guy that really throws hard.
Right.
They're off a tick. Next thing you know, they walk a couple guys.
And Kimbrel with a 2-1. Duda with a double and a homer.
Right to the fastball right here by Kimbrel, underneath it.
What new?
Is Kiermaier. Everybody's underneath.
Yeah.
Everything.
And the 2-2 to Kiermaier. And down he goes hacking. 97 to strike him out. Tomorrow at Fenway Park, the Red Cross will host their 9/11 Day of Remembrance, the blood drive in memory of those lost. The blood drive will take place from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. right here at Fenway. Presenting donors can take a free tour of Fenway during the drive and can take pictures with the World Series trophies as well. Hope to see you. Duda 2 for 4. Big shift on for him as the sun comes out again. And they have Colomé going in their bullpen.
Leads the world in saves, 42 saves out of that pen.
He drops it in there for a strike. Now, the Red Sox struck first back in the 2nd inning. The only run they got to this point. Tampa Bay with 2 in the 5th, a run in the 6th, another in the 7th. Went with a long ball for the last couple of runs. Home runs by Ramos and Duda.
What makes Kimbrel tough? Not just that 99, but that the consistency of his, that knuckle curve, whatever it is. It doesn't go straight down. It goes a little sideways, so he can command it a little better.
2-1. That's a commitment on that swing.
Man.
Yeah, that's that right there is a pitch that you gotta almost always take an attempt at, and you're trying to hold up and you go, I can't do it.
Look where his bat is and where the ball is.
Yeah.
I mean, that's ridiculous.
Looking for back-to-back strikeouts. Pop foul back out of play.
99.
99.
You go from that breaking ball down and into a high 99, and he makes contact.
Yeah, they can get the head out somehow.
But Duda will tell you he's not had much fun against Kimbrel. 1 for 13 with 8 strikeouts.
He's not the Lone Ranger. He just isn't.
Certainly
Everybody.
not. Yeah. And he put him away again. That is strike 3. Vasquez fires to first base. Back-to-back Ks. So 2 away in the 9th inning.
Amica Insurance, great service, great coverage, and a great price for auto, home, and life insurance. And it's back to the breaking ball right there. That was his game plan, it seemed to be, against Duder in that particular at bat. And he got him twice with that pitch. I wouldn't like that at all. I mean, you know, you're up there as a hitter thinking 98, 99, and then he drops that. And then you go, ah.
He's in his own world. That's his own league.
Trying to strike out the side for the 12th time this year. Longoria's gone 1 for 4 with a base hit that drove in a run. 4-1 Tampa Bay in the 9th. Base is empty. Breaking ball for strike.
See that thing? He can get that over. You know, it's not like that Barnes is 12-6.
Now, you never see Kimbrel have a wild streak. You know, I mean, he might walk a guy once in a great while.
Last year he was a little off, remember?
Yeah.
But not this year.
Not this year.
2-strike pitch. Well, if he can strike out Longoria here, not only will he strike out the side, but it'll be 112 strikeouts in 60 innings.
That's unreal.
It is.
And the 0-2 to Longoria. He put him away. He strikes out the side. Now Red Sox need a comeback down 4-1, and Colomé ready to enter. $1 to Boston Children's Hospital. Stop by your local Speedway and pick up any size fountain soda or Speedy Freeze for just 69 cents. Kimbrel does it again. 12th time this year. He strikes out the side. He has had a spectacular season, but the Red Sox need a spectacular offensive performance here in the bottom of the 9th inning to steal a win. They're down 4-1, and Colomé coming on, and he has been really tough. 42 saves and 47 appearances in save situations.
Well, this Tampa team leads the league in saves. Doesn't necessarily have to be the winningest team, but they lead the league in saves. Get it done because of this guy.
Yeah, you see the hits well below the innings pitch, but a lot of walks, 22 walks. That's a lot for a closer with 55 strikeouts to go along with that. But well, the walks apparently haven't hurt him that much. 226 average.
Moreland will be the first man in. He's walked and scored the only run. He's also grounded out. He hit into a double play in the 6th inning when it was a little bit tighter at that point. In fact, it was a 3-1 game, and the first 2 Red Sox had reached in the inning. They brought on the lefty Jennings. Either one of you surprised that John Farrell did not go to a pinch hitter there?
I was not surprised.
I didn't second guess at the time. I didn't even give it a thought. Although you have Ramirez and Pedroia and Young on the bench.
You think in that spot, is it too early to be going to a pinch hitter?
I think so. You know, I think if you get deeper in the game, and I think it's a little bit different story. I'm like Eck. I didn't even give it a second thought at the time.
Moreland's splits aren't real different between righties and lefties, honestly. That one is in there for a called strike.
I think he wants to keep Moreland's confidence, don't you think?
Yeah, and you know, he gets a chance to bat later in the game too. I mean, they're going to basically deal with a bunch of right-handers at the end of the ball game, and that's where you want him.
In the last 36 games, he's hitting near 300. He's 242 off lefties, 251 off right-handers. Obviously, a lot more home runs against righties. Count 2-2.
This guy copied Rodney's hat, didn't he? The way he tilts his hat.
Is it like a left-hander?
Yeah. Did he play with Rodney? He must have the last couple of years ago.
So we got the idea.
Yeah, Rodney's having a nice closing job for Arizona now.
Devers on deck, and the 2-2. Right to the shortstop. A stab by Echeverria. One away. And Moreland hitless today. That'll send up the youngster. 4 runs, 9 hits for the Rays. They've committed 1 error. 1 run, 5 hits, and an error for the Sox, who have a 4-game winning streak on the line. Yankees out in front big in their game pretty early. 4th inning, they lead 9-2 at Texas. But if that holds up and this holds up, the Sox would have a 3.5 game lead after today. Devers 0 for 3. Hit the ball on the ground 3 times here this afternoon.
There's that cutter. I haven't seen him throw yet. He throws that cutter a lot to right-handed hitters.
Vasquez on deck. He has a pair of hits today. The 1-1. Another ground ball. Miller up and over. 2 fast outs in the Red Sox 9th inning.
Yeah, there it is again. He got both Moreland and Devers ground ball outs on the cutter.
Yeah, he loves it. I mean, he's pretty much a cutter guy. Even though he throws 95, you see that cutter. It's a hard one. Just a little cut right there at the end. Red Sox just have not hit the ball solid that much at all today.
Yeah, after scoring 18 runs in the first 2 games of the series, the offense has been very silent here today. Vasquez an exception. An RBI single in the second, another base hit in the 4th. He's gone 2 for 3.
Well, their bullpen has been lights out. Goes back to Jennings getting out of that inning. Double play ball by Moreland sticks out as the biggest play of the game.
Yep, with a couple of men on. Just not a whole lot going on against this Rays pitching staff. It's been a good pitching staff. It's what's kept them in the wild card race.
Yeah, they came into the game today 4th in the league in team ERA. Red Sox was 2nd in the league in team ERA. Offensive numbers not real good for the Rays. It's on the bottom of the league in a lot of categories, but pitching very good.
Right now, Cobb would win it. Porcello would lose it. That's a strike. Cobb would improve to 11-9. Rick Porcello would drop to 9-17.
Didn't pitch all that badly either.
Both of them went 5 innings. Rockhold on deck, hoping to bat here in the 9th inning, and the 2-1. Sock foul. So the A's are in on Tuesday. Eduardo Rodriguez on the bump at 7:10. Those will be the last 3 games of this homestand. Then the Sox go on the road for 9. And then back home for the final week. And the 2-2. Base is empty. 2 down and a full count on Christian Vasquez. Closing in on 300, hitting .294. Three-two from Colome, swung on and foul tipped into the mitt, and that will end the ball game. So no sweep as Tampa Bay grabs a win in the finale of the series, and they win this one by a final of 4-1. Jerry Eck, great to have you both in the booth.
All right, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Dave.
Jerry, good luck this week.
Good luck this week. Thanks.
See you soon. Let's toss it back to TC.